1 week until Christmas Day. How are you doing, everybody? It is terrible outside. My goodness. The cold and the snow together. You know how usually, well, it's snowing, but at least it's only -4. Or, well, it's -20, but at least it's sunny. We're getting them together at the same time. My phone says it's -18. It's going to snow pretty much all day to some extent. I shoveled my little ramp this morning, which isn't that big. You've seen it. You've seen it, Jay. I mean, it's not a big ramp. It's not a big drive, but you got to shovel it. And by the time I left for work half an hour later or so, it's like, it doesn't even look like I did anything. It's one of those days. Hope you're keeping warm. Hope you're safe on the roads or whatever you're doing. We have a snow story that we'll tell in a few minutes. Jay and I sort of saved the day for somebody. And by save the day, I'm greatly exaggerating. But it'll lead into our off-topic topic. He's Jay Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. Zachary Kubish is on the other side of the monitor as our technical producer / sports update deliverer. Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne with you until 6 o'clock. Oilers tomorrow against the Boston Bruins as they will play 3 games in 4 days before their Christmas break. 7 o'clock game tomorrow at Rogers Place. So our coverage will commence at 6 with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing excellent, Reid.
You look excellent.
Thank you.
How was your drive to work today? Did you have to dig your way out of your driveway? Did you have to get out your bulldozer and bulldoze your way out?
No, there's no point because I was busy this morning feeding the livestock as my wife had a morning practice with the Ardrossan basketball team.
Oh, neat.
So I'm pressed into duty, single duty. Slow clap for me. Got it done. Nah,
I was actually going to clap. I was like,
thank you. And then I had to go to the locksmith for what you'll find out later.
Oh my, that's a story for later on as well.
Yeah,
we have some real life stories today.
It may have to do with Fired Up, presented by Gemco Fireplaces and Napoleon.
Well, now I'm quite enthralled.
Nobody did anything wrong. It's just one of those things, and I will dive into it.
Okay, if you would like to converse with us, first of all, you can text the ESTN box on your cellular telephone if it has texting capabilities, 780-218-9999. You can converse with us, but more importantly with each other in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. If you are there, click the little thumb up symbol as we try to get as high as we can every day. So we have a really good streak of getting to 100. And if we get to 130, Jay will give us the word of the day, which I have found very educational and informative. And you can also email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Of course, it's become a daily thing that the Big Uke and now several others have submitted limericks, which is pretty fun. So that's all some things you can send us today. Oilers play tomorrow, like I said. We'll talk about them as we move along. We do have Drew Remenda coming up a little bit later on to talk about the Oilers and the Sharks who are here on Saturday afternoon. The NBA Cup was handed out last night.
Sure was.
Did you watch?
It sure was.
I did not watch.
Reid, I had nothing. I wanted nothing more to do last night than settle in on the couch with a nice glass of red. And watch.
Oh, this is related to your whole
NBA
story.
Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't. I know Jasmine's very excited. Jasmine Sidhu from our show, The Hangout, 9 to 11 a.m. every weekday here on Edmonton Sports Talk. She was excited about the NBA Cup. I was not. We've talked about this. They gave it out last night. I put on our lineup. The NBA Cup apparently happened. Who was it? Milwaukee over Oklahoma City?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Congratulations.
Congrats. Do you know that they get a banner for that?
Do they really?
Yeah. If that was, I mean, I guess maybe it's different if I'm in that position, but
they get money. I think
They
that's
sure
more
do.
important to the players. Don't the players all get a little scratch out of it?
They get $500,000 US each.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
I didn't know it was that much. I mean,
So
I figured
for
it'd be
some players,
a large amount.
You know, it doesn't mean anything for Giannis or Damian Lillard. They call him Dame, hey, Reid?
Yeah, Dame Lillard.
Dame Lillard.
It's like James Duty Dench and Dame Lillard.
One and the same. Doesn't mean anything to them. But for some of the players on the team,
Yeah, some of the
sure
lower
does.
down guys.
Yeah.
That would be that would be a larger amount of money. Oilers Bruins tomorrow. Where are the Bruins for you in terms of an
Boston.
opponent that's interesting to watch? They are. Hopefully, they're in Boston for everybody.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for jumping on my sloppily worded question.
1-0.
Where are the
Reid.
Bruins for you?
1-0. Reid.
Where do the Bruins stand in your mind in terms of a compelling opponent for the Edmonton Oilers?
I said it yesterday, and I'll stand behind it. I think every time that they come here, there is. Well, I will be honest. I'm usually at those games when Boston is in town. My cousin is very gracious with us. He's has a couple sets of season seats through the company he owns, and he sets that game aside specifically because my cousin is married to a fella that is a lifelong Bruins fan.
Okay.
And we love to take him just to rub it in whenever we can. But unfortunately, those games are usually quite tight. I mean, last year I think the Oilers pulled it out. So I like going to those just because we can make fun of my cousin's husband, and he wears this toque. Everything he wears head to toe is Boston, but he has this toque in particular that has pins, like buttons, like buttons that you put on a jacket or on a lapel, and they have that backing to him. So we always rub his head with his toque, and it must just kill his scalp.
Last year, February 21st, last season, Boston beat the Oilers 6-5 in overtime. So this time the Oilers coming off a 6-5 game. The Oilers won 2-1 in Boston in overtime on March 5th. So they split those. Edmonton had that 3-2 win in Boston in March of 2023. That's when Boston, I believe that was the game Boston was up 2-0 after the first period. And I think they scored in the final minute or the final second or something like that of the first period. And then Darnell Nurse had that floating point shot that went in the third.
Uh-oh.
You made the hurdles? No, you're right. Thanks, Gager. But this is something else we'll talk about. Gager and I have a new job, by the way. We're going to become professional track and field video game players.
That's a fun one.
I told you, baby. I told you it was good. I know my stuff. So, anyway, Edmonton, Boston tomorrow. There will be a lot of Bruins fans there. Boston, they've made the coaching change this year, right? To me, they're not the same as they've been in recent years. I mean, they did have a great run. They won the Cup. They went to 2 other Cup finals because they lost to Chicago and they lost to St. Louis. And I've said this before, and people know from a personal standpoint, I'm just not a Bruins fan. I haven't been going back to my childhood for whatever reason. Bruins. I have almost an irrational hatred of them.
Yes.
For in my personal life. Professionally, I will cover them like any other team. But I guess in this sort of a show format, you get to see both sides of me. But I will say this. We talk a lot about culture and identity and things like that. Over the last 15 years, is there another team that has had that consistent a culture and identity? Like if you say you're playing the Bruins, you know what you're going to get.
Forget the city. Forget the hockey team. Let's talk about the entire city for the last 20, 25 years. With the Patriots,
yeah, they've had
Celtics,
a lot of championships.
The Red Sox, right? I mean, this team has a swagger. And the city has a swagger story.
Yeah, fair enough.
And yes, you're right. You know what you're getting when the Boston Bruins come to town. Yeah. And they do have a lot of fans that show out.
Oh, for sure.
So I always like that. I love seeing other
the original
fans.
6 teams, and plus Boston's resurgence, this century certainly has a lot of their fans at the games. But you know what you're going to get from them. Now, there have been other good teams in the last 20 years. I mean, I think the Kings had a very strong identity for a while. I think you could argue they still have some of that. Chicago obviously had their championship run, but Boston has just become, and I know they've had a couple of years they weren't as good, but just that perennial powerhouse team. And don't forget, they're only 2 years removed from having one of the best regular seasons ever and then getting upset by the Florida Panthers in the first round of the playoffs in Game 7 overtime. So
that is an interesting question, though. Who has the most swagger? In
the NHL?
In the NHL.
Which franchise?
Got to be up there.
So are you saying in terms of how the team conducts itself on the ice? Or
recent
in terms
successes mixed with, style of play, let's say recent within the last 10 years. And it's a tough out. I mean, Florida is turning into that for the Oilers. But have they had that swagger? Unfortunately, just Florida being from Florida, it doesn't do them any favors in that category. Boston, as you alluded to, an original 6 team.
Yeah.
It's got some roots. But I'm looking in the Western Conference, and Would it be the Avalanche?
But Boston's done it for so long.
Yes.
Right? And they still have some of those players. I mean, Marchand is associated with that. Other players have retired. I mean, Chara would have been associated with that, but he's been gone from Boston for a few years ago. But they're still a very good team, and I think perhaps even overachieving a bit this year. I mean, they lost one of their two goalies that was part of that great tandem, but they're still doing pretty well. But yeah, I think just in terms of if you see
a lot of people
Boston
saying
on
Vegas.
if you see Boston on the schedule, you know it's going to be a tough night.
Yeah.
You know they probably won't beat themselves, and that they're going to be make it very, very and we talked about Vegas the first time the Oilers played them. They've already played them 3 times. And what do I call Vegas? I call them the miserable bastards, because you know that
Maybe you should call them
the VMB instead of the VGK, the Maleficent, the Maleficent bastards. But
the lexical bastards.
But Boston has that certain that grittiness to them, that toughness to them. Like, they're always going to be in your way. You're not going to get any free chances. You're going to have to earn every single inch of ice. I think Vegas has a bit of that as well, and Vegas has done it for several years, though clearly they haven't been in the league as long as even since.
But since
Vegas.
they've been in the league, they've been pretty damn successful.
Yeah, well, Vegas has only missed the playoffs once, and the year they did, they still had a pretty good team, and then they came back in and they won the Stanley Cup. But also with Vegas, like Boston, they've had gritty players. They've had difficult. I mean, that whole hockey cliche. Well, you got to be difficult to play against. But in hockey, that just means, and you and I have talked about this. There's that difficult to play against in terms of, yes, you might hit somebody or have to take a body check, but they're also just, they play a technically sound game. They play a strategically sound game. They play a positionally sound game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, if I'm a defenseman going back to get the puck and I know I'm going to get run, yes, that's unpleasant. That makes the other team hard to play against. But if I'm a defenseman going to get the puck and I know the other team's changing and I'm setting up behind my own net and I look up and I know, for crying out loud, they know everything's sealed off, or they're making me make such, that's also exhausting and hard to play against as well. I think Boston's able to do both those things.
But how much does that have to do with a player like a Brad Marchand?
A lot.
Or a Matthew Tkachuk, right?
Yeah,
those agitators that stir things up.
Well, and that's what I've said about Vegas is, and I think maybe you could apply the same to Boston, is that if you're a new guy joining those teams, you get pulled into it, And what have I said several times? And I do not make this up. Several people either said to me when Eichel got traded to Vegas, they said, that's it. Now he'll sulk there and Vegas will get pulled down, right? Or people question how well it would work out there. Well, it worked out pretty well. He won the cup, and Jack Eichel's one of them, right? He's
absolutely.
So if you join Vegas or Boston, and maybe especially the Boston of a few years ago, if you're not willing to go out there and stand up for a teammate or finish a body check or get in the way of a puck or have a pleasant exchange with somebody after a whistle, you're not going to last. You get pulled. Like, you can't. There's no fence sitters, right? And what was one thing? Now look, I'm splitting hairs a little bit here because I do think the Oilers are a good team, and I still think they're going to have a good season. But what did Knobloch say a few weeks ago when they weren't doing well? He said, we have some skilled players on the team,
yes,
and then we maybe have some other guys who think, oh, look what they're doing, maybe I'll try to do that, as opposed to being who you are. And as I've also talked about, the Oilers are often at their best when Draisaitl and McDavid lead the charge physically, which I don't think they're doing this regular season. And maybe that's part of some
maybe it's
energy saving scheme for later in the season.
They'll turn up as the season goes on,
right?
And just get it clipping and ready to go for the playoffs,
right? So anyway, it's an interesting discussion, but it will be fun tomorrow night. I do think it's a game that the Oilers can win.
I'd just like to take this opportunity to say hello to Kieran Farrell in the Nasty Chat. Very, very few times that we have somebody so honest and open about their feelings.
Oh, that's fair.
He says, brutal show. Well, thanks, Kieran.
Well, thanks for checking it out.
Thanks for listening.
What can you do?
We appreciate you watching and listening, and please hammer that thumbs up if you haven't already.
780-218-9999 if you want to send us a text, and you could email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Please send this man an email, anything.
Oh, I got one. I got a limerick already from the, or do I?
His eyes light up.
My eyes do light up when
I might
get,
send
when
you
I get
an
emails.
email.
Yeah. Oh, please do.
I'll just take a picture of you and send it to you.
Okay. So here's what happened today. Well, they had a tailgate party on the morning show.
Crazy stuff.
And which is pretty amazing because we had a few listeners outside when it was not pleasant.
Yeah, talk about
tailgating.
the
You and I
worst
weren't
day
here
of the
for
year.
that, obviously. But we did have a listener here earlier today. I won't say who it was, but they had a little visit. They went to leave.
Well, a lot of people have been coming by to pick up their
or get
nasty
their
club.
nasty club stuff.
Yeah.
So this individual could not get out of the parking lot that's adjacent to our building.
Yeah.
So who was the first crew that went out? You, me, and Hernan?
Eric.
And
Hernan.
To try to get the car out of the snow, and that was not successful.
It was buggered.
And then everybody here went outside a few minutes later. Was there 9 of us?
Well, here's what happened. We came back in, and this place was a vibe in here. This
It really
morning.
was.
There was a lot of action going on, a lot of Christmas cheer and hugs and kisses and all the like. But we came back in and said, so this person got on AMA, and it's like, this is going to take 12 hours.
Well,
So,
is that how long it was?
well,
It was probably a while.
Look at the day it is,
Yeah.
right? So I looked around the room, and I said, come on, like if we can't get this, I mean, Belsey was here, Gager was here, Zach was here. We had some big bodies at play. So the whole troop went out, and kudos to Gager, round of clicks for Gager.
He was the MVP of that.
He was the MVP. He directed us like an orchestra. It was beautiful. It was a symphony of pushing and pulling.
So we just basically rocked the car front and back.
Well, he said
As
put it
best
in
we
neutral,
could.
which was brilliant. And then we ended up getting the car out.
So our off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. William Huff dropped off some awesome EST Christmas decorations. I tweeted and put on Instagram the Reid Wilkins show decoration they did. Really cool. But our off-topic topic, the worst time you ever got stuck and how you got out of it. I suppose it doesn't have to be snow-related. If you got a mud or water or quicksand-related story, you can send that in as well. I had a very unpleasant situation last winter when the weather was bad. I was leaving Oilers practice, and I was in the lot to the north of Rogers Place. And so usually the lot was not busy. So usually when I would back out just a little bit, turn my car, and then go forward and leave. But the snow had accumulated a bit, and along the path by which I usually left when I sort of immediately started going forward, some snow had been pushed up there, but I wasn't thinking of it, and it wasn't huge. So I hit it going forward, and I was like, oh, crap, that relatively small pile of snow. But my front wheel went over it, and I was like, okay, no problem. And then all of a sudden, the car stopped. And I'm like, great, I'm stuck.
You got hung up.
So that's actually what happened. So I got out. I got I have one of those little plastic shovels I keep in my car. I kind of dug the snow away from around the wheels, and I get in, and I try to go. It's not moving. And so then I look at it again, and then I realize, oh, that one wheel isn't even touching the ground.
Oh,
so
no.
this little mound of snow had fluffy snow on top, and it was just a chunk of ice underneath. So I couldn't break it apart. And so the reason I couldn't go anywhere is because I think it was the front left wheel was not even touching the ground.
That's a problem.
So I had to call AMA, and they somehow, I think he lifted up the front of my car, rolled it back on the two back wheels, and then changed the angle. So I probably had to wait about an hour or that for that. Or so that just sucked. And then you think, oh, is my car damaged? Because he would have clamped down on the ice a little bit. So luckily it wasn't hours, but it was sort of an unusual way and a foolish way to get stuck, because I did know that mound was there, and I just didn't adjust my drive out. Nash Osborne says, did Nuge push you out? It didn't Nuge and Hyman stop last year to help somebody on one of the roads in Edmonton? No, there were no players around. They don't park in that lot, Nash. You probably know.
You know what I learned today about, our producer, Zachary? He carries a full-size shovel in his vehicle.
Was it full size?
Full-sized.
Yeah, well, I was stuck one time. I got stuck in a ditch going sideways, turning left really slowly a few years back, and it just, like slow motion, turned sideways parallel to the road, kept going. And we stopped in the ditch, just couldn't get out, nothing like that. And in the back of the car,
I like how you say we stopped in the ditch.
Well, we got stopped by the ditch.
By your choice?
I think, yeah. Almost thought we were rolling over. I was like, oh my gosh, grabbing the chute handle up top. And I'm like, oh no, we got to dig this thing out because my friend, we didn't really want her parents to know that we got stuck in the ditch,
we've all been there.
right.
Yeah.
So I look in the back, and the only shovel she has is one of those ones for the toddlers.
Like Reid, oh yeah. Yeah.
$3 dollar store tiny plastic one where if you even try and lift actual heavy snow up, it'll snap in half. So
you rock full size.
I rock
Which,
full
by
size.
the way, we had already removed the car, and the car was gone. It probably made it to the Henday by that time. And Zach comes out of his vehicle and says, "Guys, I got a shovel."
Yeah, the second I got it out of my car, I look over, and
you know what? You were Johnny on the spot, just a little too, a little late.
Hey, I mean,
But
just
we
in
could have
case,
used
right?
it. Yeah, it was a team effort still.
Moral support. I was there.
Absolutely.
It counted.
All right, so send in your story about the worst time you were ever stuck with your vehicle and how you got out of it. 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Drew Remenda is going to visit with us in about 16 minutes. We got the Cube with a sports update.
We see Dallas hosting the Maple Leafs, Vancouver and Utah to play the hockey club, while the Panthers battle the Wild with 10 games around the NHL. And there's just one AJHL matchup, seeing Whitecourt in Lloydminster, while Toronto faces New York in the lone PWHL game tonight. In football, Max Crosby will miss the remainder of the season for the Raiders, while Will Levis heads to the bench for the Titans, having Mason Rudolph start as quarterback this week. And Iowa State is retiring Caitlin Clark's number 22 after she became the all-time scoring leader in NCAA Division I history. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep, where they have their Boxing Week sales ongoing. You can save big on all the major sleep brands. You can get a queen-size Eurotop mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones for half price at just $3.99. Shop great deals like this and more at Sit and Sleep, but only while supplies last, so don't miss out. Get shopping at Sit and Sleep. Find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your Sports Update.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
This year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
Thanks for checking out the show. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. The off-topic topic for William Huff, the worst time you were ever stuck. Lars Y. says, up near Whitecourt in my Toyota 4x4 back in the 80s, had to build a bridge through the slough. Took all day to get us out. Only happened once. You're stuck if they have to build even a small bridge to get you out. That's an endeavor. If they need engineers, or even amateur engineers.
Big Uke says a few years back, stopped at a stop sign out by my place. Was a bit too close to the corner and it just sucked the truck in. Thankfully, it was close to home, so my dad came and pulled me out. And then he sent a picture of him quadding, which he got stuck in. And that's probably one of my worst experiences with getting stuck was we went out kind of west of Sundre with my wife's family for a quad expedition.
Okay.
Little back-roading, off-roading, mud, all that stuff.
Right.
And I guess I was tricked by a massive puddle.
Okay.
It just looked like it did not look as deep as one would think.
Right.
So I took off and headed straight for it to try and splash my brother-in-law who was there.
Okay.
And I went straight head first, all the way down and in. And then they had to pull me up and out. And then we literally had to use the winches to get the quad out.
Oh my God.
It was probably a 6-foot deep hole.
Jeez.
And you wouldn't know. It was just flat. It looked just like a muddy or a wet patch on the ground. Could have lost my life, Reid.
Yeah, like if it was that deep.
It was and they were all laughing, of course.
Not good.
Joke's on me, I guess.
You're just trying to splash somebody. All right, keep those coming throughout the afternoon. So, 3 Oilers games coming up in the next 4 days. We'll talk some Oilers and hockey stuff with Drew Remenda at about 3:40 this afternoon. I know there are people getting excited for the World Juniors. The World Juniors have already started, Jay. Did you know that?
Let the games begin.
The lower divisions have already played. Do you know what teams are in them? So the 10 teams that are in the tournament in Ottawa, that's the top division, okay? Then there's a Division 1A that's already been played. Do you know who won that tournament and gets promoted to the top division next year? Take a guess.
Kazakhstan.
No. The Coob guessed. Kazakhstan's in the top division this year.
True.
That
was a trick question.
It was Denmark. Denmark won Group 1 Division A, so they're coming up. Whoa. Hungary finished last in Group 1A, so they're going down to Group 1B next year. Japan won Group 1B, which featured Japan, Ukraine, Italy, Estonia, Poland, and South Korea. They got relegated to Division 2A.
Wow.
Or sorry, no, that tournament's going to be played in January. My mistake. They've already played 1A. 1B still has to be played. 2A still has to be played. That features Croatia, Lithuania, Great Britain, China, Netherlands, and Romania. And then also in January, Group 2B. So that's Spain, Serbia, Iceland, Australia, Belgium, and Israel. Oh, we're not done. There's a Division 3A. That is Chinese Taipei, New Zealand, Bulgaria, Turkey, Mexico, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. And then there's a Division 3B that this one has been played already. So this is basically Div 7 for the World Juniors. This one's been played already. Thailand won it, so they're going to advance to Division 3A. It was Thailand, I think, did you say it Kyrgyzstan? KYRGYYZ Stan. I think is it Kyrgyzstan? South Africa and Luxembourg. That's now you know every country that plays World Junior hockey.
Wow. My head hurts.
Sorry, buddy. So, but those are the stakes that they're trying to. So to make it from Division 3A to the top division, you'd have to win 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd have to win 6 tournaments. So you'd be at least 6 years away. Just random fun facts for the day. Are you a big World Junior guy? You can say.
No.
How come?
I've always worked through the tournament.
Oh, that's part of it for you. This is a different schedule for you now.
I've never gotten up on Boxing Day looking forward to watching Canada play or something like that. I've gotten up on Boxing Day wondering how the sales were going to be at the store that day.
So what time would you open on Boxing Day?
10 a.m.
And would you have massive sales?
No.
And how would you... So but you wouldn't open early. It wasn't like how some electronics stores open at 6 a.m. or something.
Well, those are called, here's a little insight to you. There would be some items on sale. But the items that you see that the big box stores advertise, first 100 customers get this for $50, a table.
Mm-hmm.
Those are called loss leaders in the business. So you're taking a loss on that item. Maybe its retail value is $150.
Okay.
You're offering it for $50 to get people into the store. When the people are in the store, it's up to your salespeople to keep them there and make them buy something that's way more expensive than the $50 loss leader they came in for.
So
it's a gimmick to get you through the doors.
Could they just buy the lost leader, or is it you get it for $50 if you buy a couch?
You could, but you'll realize it's a piece of you-know-what.
Okay.
But then if you have a salesperson that's doing their job, they'll say, you know what, if you want to move up a little bit, here's this one for $4.99.
Right, okay.
Oh, that's still a good price. Okay, yeah. People don't buy that. It's a piece of junk. Their objective there is just to get you through the door. There. Now you know a bit.
I know much more than I did. And would you stay open later on Boxing Day?
It depended how to... yeah, like we wouldn't change our hours for Boxing Day. If it was on a Saturday, it would be 10 to 5. If it was on a Sunday, it would be 12 to 5.
Okay.
If it was on a Monday, it would be 10 to 8. But someday, like if it was on a Sunday, which is a shorter retail day, and our sales associate wanted to stay later because it was hopping in there, by all means, keep the light on. I don't care. Yeah, but no, Boxing Day has changed over the years because it's no longer a day, and same as Black Friday. It's not a day; it's a month.
Okay,
like, the sales haven't stopped since Black Friday when we were at Sit and Sleep.
True,
they're going right. So. Atif got stuck. He'd like to share his story.
Sure.
I would like to share a story of when I got stuck, and it wasn't with the vehicle. It was with my wheelchair. So I was going to an Oilers game last season. The sidewalks were not shoveled. I had to get this bus stop that was a little bit far away from me. Not thinking, I looked at the unshoveled sidewalk and misjudged the snow, and I got stuck. Couldn't get out, couldn't go left, couldn't go right.
Oh, man.
I have no choice but to sit there and wait and hope that somebody would stop to help me. 20 minutes passed, and eventually somebody did stop to help me, and he was late for the game. That comes in from Atif.
That's, you know what, but that's a good reminder that people who are using wheelchairs
shovel
or might have, that's tough.
Can you imagine getting around today? If you're just going to, even
you got to get out there and do stuff.
It's hard to keep up with the snow for a lot of these places. That would be incredibly tough.
It's good to hear from Atif.
Great to hear from
Atif. Take another run at a limerick.
He did.
Today?
Yes.
Oh.
I've got it.
Do we want to do it now?
We would, but Coob's not here to play the limerick music.
Oh, we'll do it later. We'll do limericks
and
a little bit later on.
He's not, being tardy or not doing his job. He's actually trying to help clean up a spill that happened here in the studio. And I believe
what happened?
I believe it was Dustin Nielsen, or what's his name?
That was hours ago he was here. He left a spill behind?
No, he left a full mug sitting behind the ESTV.
So it got knocked over.
And apparently it's old. Gross.
Oh, man. Evil Twin says, I need to buy a Team Canada and a Team Thailand jersey. Yeah, I don't even know if you could get the jerseys for these other hockey organizations. Bronco Nick, No, the Broncos play tomorrow. Thursday nighter. I think it's them and the Chargers.
Yeah, I believe.
He says Luxembourg. They're in the mountains in Europe. How are they in the bottom? I don't know. We'll have to get somebody on from the Luxembourgian Hockey Federation.
Consulate.
The consulate. They finished dead last in the lowest division of World Junior Hockey in a tournament against Kyrgyzstan, South Africa, and Thailand. Won by Thailand. Luxembourg did have an overtime loss to South Africa.
There's a lot of people that have been stuck, Reid.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Timber Woodsman says, one year, 3 buddies and I drove to Mexico to go surfing. Our 85 Dodge Caravan got stuck on the beach in the sand. We camped the night, and in the morning, we flagged down a Mexican and a backhoe, came and dragged us out.
Oh, my.
What are the odds of that?
That's amazing.
Like, getting stuck, sure. But finding somebody with a backhoe.
What are the odds?
What are the odds?
It's like something from a novel or something.
Coach Mike says, at this point in the season, can you guys predict the top 3 in the Pacific?
Yes.
Me too.
Well, I don't like changing, so I'll pick the same as I said at the beginning of the season. Vegas, Edmonton, Vancouver.
That's what I said too. And
why would I change now?
The Kings are the only team in our way.
So they're still second, right?
Yeah.
Edmonton's third and Vancouver's fourth in a wild card spot?
Yeah.
I said Vegas. I think my top 3 in the Pacific at the beginning of the year was Vegas, Edmonton, Vancouver in that order. I will stick with that just out of stubbornness. Who's he picking?
He didn't say.
Okay.
Send in yours, Mike.
Yeah, we want to know yours too. Mex Bezozu, who we had the honor of meeting today.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting Mex. Said there were frustrating Christmases when I was younger, when I wouldn't get a present on Christmas Day, and my parents would say, we'll get it on Boxing Day because it's on sale. Wow, did they take you with them? Or did they bring it home? And hopefully they took Mex with them so he could pick out exactly what he wanted. I don't know.
I just can't believe how many people have gotten stuck.
We'll keep doing those.
Okay.
780-218-9999. We got Drew Remenda. Always fun to visit with him. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk.
The Flyers face the Red Wings, the Jets play the Ducks, and the Leafs throw it down with the Stars, having 5 games in the NHL. And just one WHL game sees Prince Albert in Calgary, while it's Toronto taking on Ottawa in the PWHL. And down south, the Raiders will be without Max Crosby for the remainder of the year, with him hitting the injury reserve. And Will Levis will get benched for the Titans, seeing Mason Rudolph get the start this week. In basketball, Caitlin Clark's number 22 will be retired by Iowa State after she set the record for the most points scored in NCAA history. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. Drew Remenda joins the Reid Wilkins Show on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Oh, my goodness. Thanks for checking out the show. Oh, I can see out the window. There is a lot of snow. What are you going to do? Drive safe if you're out there. Reid Wilkins, J.
Turn
Milne.
your lights on.
Well, don't they come on automatically?
No, not at this time of day. It's not dark enough yet.
Oh.
But with the snow
Aren't there
flying,
running lights?
But manually turn your lights on.
Manually turn your lights on.
Because in the daytime, they're not going to come on, but with all the snow flying, it's good to see someone's taillights and headlights. Be safe, people.
Well, speaking of bright lights, I am pleased to welcome back to the show a gentleman I enjoy talking hockey and life with the Sharks Audio Network. Drew Remenda is checking in. Hello, Drew. It's Jay and Reid.
Gentlemen, how are you? Hey, just to let you know, I'm kind of feeling your snow pain because it was raining the last couple of days here, and so that was kind of it was a little foggy this morning as well.
Oh wow!
So,
heaven forbid.
So you had to search your way to your car for sure. So we have an off-topic topic every day for William Huff.
Every day. Yeah.
So I'll put you on the spot, or maybe it'll pop into your head while we're doing the interview. Or a worst time you ever got stuck, or a vehicle you were on ever got stuck. Snow, mud, ditch. You lived on the prairies for a while, so you do know what snow is.
And going back and forth to Edmonton from Saskatoon, Highway 16 is great. There was only about 5 times in the 5 seasons that I was doing that with Sportsnet that I'd almost died driving the car, because I think speed limits are fascist, and I don't care what the conditions are. I want to get going as fast as I can. Got stuck. Oh, I got, okay, here's one for you. I'm about 10 years old, and my dad is coaching my brothers, Doug and Don, with the Pee Wee Mohawks at the time. Or no, the Hawks, the Bantam Hawks at the time. And big snowfall outside of Exhibition Stadium in Saskatoon. I'm just there at practice. And Mr. Kerr, his son James, played on the team. He got stuck in his Toyota Land Cruiser. That's how much snow there was. So all the boys after practice went out to push Mr. Kerr's Land Cruiser out. Everybody's on the back, of course, and my brothers, because I'm the little baby of the family, get out of here, go find somewhere else to push. There's no room for you back here. So me being smart as I was, I thought, why don't I go to the front and push? Because that's always a good idea when you're going forward. And because he had that big bumper, right? So as we start moving the truck forward, okay, I fall underneath. I slip underneath. And the Land Cruiser goes right over my legs, spins out on my legs, tears my pants up, tears my skin up, but I sink a little bit because of the snow, but I get ran over, right? And now I'm screaming. Mr. Kerr's, everybody's yelling. They run into the stadium to get my dad, Bill Remenda, the late, great Bill Remenda. And I'm laying there and in the snow, and my hero comes running out from the Exhibition Stadium, my father. And he's just booking it. And he yells, "Which one is it? Which one is it?" And they yell back, "It's Drew." And he slows to a walk and goes, I should have known.
That's great. But first of all, that's an incredible, thrilling, somewhat horrifying story.
But the kicker of the story is you think you'd get a day off from school, right? For that? No. Not the Remenda family. My brothers had to pull me down to school in the toboggan, just like 5-6 blocks every day until I could start to walk again.
So were it actually like broken legs, or how badly were you injured?
I sunk deep. It was they were just bruised up and skinned up and, ruined my pants. But other than that, there's no structural damage besides to my psyche.
Gee, were you scared, or did it happen so fast and you were so young? Like what?
I was screaming. And per Mr. Kerr for years after, apparently he had nightmares.
Well, he probably still would apologize to you this day if he saw little Drew.
Not a very smart guy.
You had never told me that story before. That's a good story.
That's incredible.
It has a happy ending, thankfully, because you're here and you can walk. But yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But you can kind of understand that 10-year-old brain. Well, I got to help. Nobody's on this part of the car, so I guess I'll help.
I thought it was a no-brainer, and literally it was, because I was stupid. But my father, I was a tad accident prone. I got hit by a car before because my dad and my brothers and I were playing football across the street, and we lost. It was always dad and me versus my older brothers, and we lost. So I sucked out and ran across the street and got hit by a car. The guy was actually a brain surgeon and actually helped me once. That's a longer story.
Oh, wow.
I electrocuted myself once. My father and my brother are electricians. I stuck the metal tweezers in the light socket just because I thought that's where they should go, and shut out the whole lights. I fell off of our balcony onto my back. I was a tad accident.
My goodness.
Pro.
How are you still with us, Drew?
Now I wonder why I would hang out with you at the rink. Like, I'm surprised an anvil didn't fall on my head at some point. All right. The very
lucky,
the very lucky and adventurous Drew Remenda is joining us today. As we will. That's great for the William Huff off-topic about getting stuck and other stories about Drew's life. We'll transition to hockey.
Okay.
Boston's here tomorrow. Jay and I were talking earlier in the show, and as you know, Drew, I try to communicate in my own way, and I there are certain cliches that I hate or avoid, or words that I think get overused. Yes. I think identity can be one of those, so I always try to say, okay, what's an identity? I think of the Boston Bruins. Gritty, tough, skilled, every pack mentality. And I said maybe they have the most defined identity in the last 15 to 20 years in the NHL. Another listener, one of our, we call them the Nasties, wrote in Vegas, younger team, but you know what I call Vegas. They kind of pull everybody into the fight.
Yep.
What for you? Is there a team? Maybe it's, and you can say Boston or Vegas if you want, but in the NHL, like a team where you just know what you're going to get. Like even if you beat them, like you know you got to go through stuff to get those 2 points every night.
I think you bring up a good point right off the bat. You know, we use a lot of cliches and maybe we don't specifically know what they mean, like identity, culture, etc. Identity is something to me that every guy on your team can do. You couldn't say that the Oilers' identity is that they're a high-scoring team because not everybody on the team can do that. They are a high-scoring team. They can because they've got superstar players, best in the world. But that's not an identity of a team. The identity has to be something that every guy from top to bottom can go out and do because it's a controllable. Like they're a hard forechecking team. They're a physical team. They're a good defensive team because they skate to end plays. So they skate to get the breakout going in the other direction. I would say that Vegas would be the one team that definitely does have that identity, and you and I have talked about it, and I think your label for the Vegas Golden Knights is right on cue. I think Boston has tried to get back to an identity. They were kind of in between when it came to the way they played because they were winning so many games in the last couple of years with Jimmy Montgomery as coach because they had great goaltending. They still have that leadership guy being, at the time Bergeron, but also Marchand and a few other guys that continue to embrace that Boston Bruins identity. I think the big key for a team with identity, and you're looking at, I think right now when you watch Tampa Bay Lightning, when you watch them in the playoffs, they were, to me, they had an identity in the way that they played. They attacked with numbers. Everybody got up on the play. They were fantastic at tracking back or reloading or whatever cliche or language I should say coaches are using now because that's their currency. But they were a great track back team. They would shrink the ice and get you in the neutral zone. That's where they made all their plays. And then they would hit the transition button and they'd go. So they're back to that now. There's, I think, every good team, every team that's up in the standings, every team that right now is starting to find their form. Like, what are the Oilers? They got 8 wins in the last 10. Is that right?
Yep.
They're starting to find their identity. Carolina has an identity. They are a bunch of hardworking sons of guns, and it's back to pucks quick, rim it out of the zone, pressure the points, and then boom, get going on the attack. And then on the attack, it's low, high, bang to the net. And it's a Rod Brind'Amour. To me, they've got 20 Rod Brind'Amours. So I think the really good teams have an identity. The teams that aren't as good are still searching for it, are still inconsistent in applying that. That's, to me, when you have an identity and you're able to play that all the time, that, to me, is a team that has learned how to win in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, I like how you put that. It's something that everybody can do.
Yeah,
and I remember.
Has to be.
I know this is another sport, and it was a long time ago. Was it 02? It was 02 or 03. The Angels won the World Series. They beat the Giants, and they decided, or they rallied around this, that we are going to make the opposing pitcher throw as many pitches as possible.
Yeah,
and in spring training, if a guy struck out, but it took 11 pitches and he fouled off 7 pitches along the way, when he went back to the dugout, great at bat. You didn't get on base, but you made you're eating up his arm, and they went back to that all year. Okay, we're not hitting. Grind out the at bat, foul it off, make him throw as many. So anyway, I like how you put that. Yeah, I know you watch a lot of Oilers too when you can, when you're not got Sharks games. Clearly a lot better despite the loss. Like we talked earlier in the season, they couldn't even pass. The first couple weeks of the season. Some things are coming around. I think Kapanen's been a nice pickup. I don't know how long he's going to be up there. Clearly better goaltending and more committed defending, I think, are some of the keys. When you see the Oilers lately, what are you seeing?
Well, those two things are ultra important. The Oilers, every once in a while, when they got in trouble early, they were cheating offensively. And that everything was going to be bang, we're going to go outscore everybody. And you can understand it when you've got a guy who scored as much as Leon and Connor have the last couple of years. Reid, we've been there together where there are times where the guys would just sit on the bench and go, well, he'll do it. Right. Just watch. And they would just wait for Connor or Leon to go. And now that you've got more of a team that's top depth, you've got more team depth, you've got top to bottom talent, you've got guys that have roles that they play and are really good at it. Bless you, by the way. You have players who understand that, and Connor and Leon lead this, understand that you have to do the job away from the puck in order to get the job done with the puck. That's what I really love about how Leon and Connor have developed as hockey players. They don't cheat offensively. Every once in a while when they're down a couple, they will, but that's natural. So what I also see with the Oilers is one guy that I love, Ekholm. I'm telling you, the guy is a stud. The guy's an absolute stud. That trade, just getting him, period, is – I always liked him, but he's incredible. Absolutely incredible. You have to have those guys. You have to have those voices. You have to have a few alpha dogs on your team if you're going to be successful. And the Oilers now have more than their fair share. So I think overall, Barry Trotz, I saw Barry, this was the year they won the Cup. And they were always a good team, right? Washington, when Barry Trotz had that team. And so I asked him, I said, what's the hardest thing with your team? And he said, getting them to be interested in the regular season. Getting them to be committed in the regular season. So think about how far the Oilers have gone in the last, 5 years now, right? Yep. And then how far they went last year. It's pretty hard for those guys to psych up themselves to be at their top level and be 100% invested in a game in November. It's just human nature. It's not a weakness of an athlete or a weakness of mine. It's just human nature because they know in the end they're going to be there, right? And they know they know they're good. Every team, when they're good, they know they're good. When the Sharks were good, when they were great, when they were winning more games than losing with Joe Thornton and then Brent Burns and Patty Marleau and Joe Pavelski, he didn't go in going, gee, I just hope we get in there close. You knew they were going to win the game. Just how were they going to win it? So for the Oilers, to me, they're back. They're back. They are hitting their stride at the right time. They've got more confidence. They are playing the right way, quotation marks, as coaches like to say. And their drivers are driving right now. As far as Connor and Leon and Ekholm, and you know me, I love Darnell. I know that people in Edmonton are all over the guy all the time because they look at his salary and then look at his points and don't understand the correlation. But hey, if somebody's going to offer you $9.5 million, be smart enough to take it. If he's overpaid, that's not on him. That's on the Oilers. That's just the way it is. It's actually on Jones and Chicago more than anybody, his agent. So, but you know how much I love Darnell. So they're playing the right way, and they're understanding now what they have to do in order to win, that they can't cheat.
Drew Remenda joining us here. I just wanted to ask you, obviously everybody's heard of Macklin Celebrini, knows of what's going on down there, a point per game player, but you watch this athlete play every day. Give us a little insight into what you see and why he's such a special hockey player.
He's 18. So I'm talking to Will Smith the other day, and Will's just a year older than him. And he and Will Smith are like this. They're great. It's so much fun with those two around. One's yin, one's yang. Macklin's a little bit more serious. Will has got more swagger, more juice. It's fun. They're great companions. Like I said to Will the other day, because Will's living with Patrick Marleau and his family, and so Macklin's living with Joe Thornton and his family. And I said, if you're at the Marleau's house, you have to play knee hockey with the boys. You have to. That's just the way it is. So I said, have you played against the boys yet? And Will goes, oh yeah, Mac and me are dominating. So that's the way Will is. Macklin's a little bit more serious. But first of all, the people who don't know, he comes from a family background. His dad used to play for the Vancouver 86ers. Remember that soccer team back then? Then his dad went into sports performance, and he is now the director of high performance for the Golden State Warriors championship NBA team. Macklin spent a lot of time when he was younger around Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, those championship teams. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact of how his mind works when it comes to understanding the effort and the dedication and the persistence and the constant strive for perfection you have to work for in order to be a good professional athlete. Plus, he had a dad there who's able to tell him, hey, watch this guy, and tell him why. He is, guys, at 18 years old, he's one of the top, I think he's top in the league, or one of the top guys in the league at takeaways. 18. I asked him, I said, how did you get that? Because 18 years old, you're not supposed to be able to do that. And he goes, I used to watch Datsuk all the time. So I used to watch Datsuk all the time, and he was amazing at it. So he said, and then I just kind of worked on it. At the start of the year, he got injured after the first game. He was injured going in the first game, but it's early in his NHL career. First few games, he wasn't very good on faceoffs. Now he's around 50%.
Right.
I think he's got points in 11 of the last 15 games. He is the guy and I use the term driver a lot, because you really do drive a team if you are leading them offensively or you're leading them defensively or with hits or things like that. He's the guy who drives the team. His ability to look off an opponent. He scored a goal last night on the back end on Hellebuck, where he didn't look at the net once. He gets the puck on the hash marks, power play. He sees Wenberg go to the front. He takes the space, which is the other thing I love about him. When he sees space that he wants, he just takes it. He takes that space and he's looking across, and the net's over to here to his left, and he goes boom on the backhand, right down on the ice, scores. He is the master of the no look. I've not seen a guy that can no look a pass or no look a shot like he does. It's incredible. And I don't know where he gets it from. He is the best player I've seen since Connor came in the league. Yeah. He really is. I'm not saying he's Connor. I'm saying he's the best player I've seen since Connor McDavid came in the league as far as everything he does. He's so well-rounded at 18 years old. It's scary how good he is going to become.
Yeah, he's going to be fun to see in person
Saturday.
on Saturday. Am I going to see you on Saturday?
Yes, sir. Yeah, oh. I'm every game now, babe. I'm a hard-working man. I don't know if you know that about me, but I grind it. I absolutely grind it.
That's what all the comments are coming in here. There's the grinder. There's the hardest working man in show business.
We do got a comment here from BR. Thanks for having Drew on. Tell him how good it is to hear him, and let him know he is missed in the Edmonton market. That's from BR. So there you go.
Just from BR. And BR, the last name, last name is Remenda, the BR there, so that's probably what. Thank you. I know that I'm not missed by a lot of people, but I know that you miss me, Reid, and BR misses me, and that's all it means to me. That's what comforts my heart.
Yes. Well, I'm glad I'm going to see you on the weekend. That'll be a fun game. I think there's going to be a lot of action in that game, so that'll be a fun one to watch.
What was the last time? It was 8-0 last time. Hopefully it won't be.
I think it was 9-2 Oilers. That one.
Okay, thanks for rubbing it in. I appreciate it.
Well, the Sharks are better. The Sharks are better than that last year's team.
Much better.
They're still trying to build up. All right. Thanks for being so generous with your time. Love having you. And you got a game. You got a game tomorrow. Then you guys travel Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. All the best. Thanks so much for your time, Drew.
Great seeing you guys. All right, Reid, you take care. Can't wait to see you.
Right on. That's our buddy Drew Remenda from the Sharks Audio Network, as they call it, with an incredible segment of hockey analysis and very unexpected storytelling.
That could have been terrible.
Getting run over as a 10-year-old while sort of helping to push a vehicle out of the snow at an arena in Saskatoon.
He's up there. I love having Drew on. He was on early in our tenure, and he just brings it. He's just a passionate hockey enthusiast that I love it.
I love talking to him.
Yeah.
Still watches a lot of Oilers games, of course, and back doing Sharks games. So he's a lot of fun. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra cool. Gager and Hernan were talking about golf on their show. Well, the Canadian Ice House, one of those TrackMan golf simulators, now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. Hit the thumb up button if you're watching on YouTube. Talk to each other. Oh, my goodness. Jasmine is in the nasty chat. Hang on, everybody. Jed Roberts is going to join us in studio. We have, buying or selling next. Christmas facts, courtesy Damon Bunting, in a couple of minutes.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
The countdown is on to the legendary Boxing Week sale at FXR Factory Outlet Superstore. Don't miss the best deals of the season on fan favorite gear. Huge savings on FXR lifestyle apparel and outerwear, along with FXR Adrenaline Unlimited merch. Miss this event and you miss out huge on the best deals for the entire family. More great incentives in store, so mark your calendars, gather the crew, and head to FXR December 26th through 31st. 324 Mayfield Common in Edmonton.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
On the ice, the Wild play the Panthers, the Ducks and Jets go at it while the Leafs visit Dallas, with the Oilers back in action tomorrow. And in the NFL, Max Crosby heads to the injury reserve and will miss the remainder of the season for the Raiders, while the Titans name Mason Rudolph as a starter, benching Will Levis in their upcoming game against the Jags. Elsewhere, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals has blocked a potential trade to the Houston Astros. Arenado has 3 years left on his contract, worth a total of $74 million. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now, and I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Jasmine just lording over the nasty chat. She's got it under control.
Well, we will second her thank you to, as you say, box numberer.
Yes, box pounder.
Box pounder. Thanks for the goodies you dropped off today. We really appreciate it.
Very appreciated, for sure.
I will be eating kubasa for lunch.
Endlessly.
Breakfast, dinner, and an evening snack. I love me my kubasa.
Very, very complete. Oilers, by the way, we're not on the ice today. You may have seen on their social media they did some hospital visits yesterday. So I know, I remember, I know I've talked about Rob Brown a lot, but I worked with the guy for a long time, and he told a lot of great stories. He always found, he was mostly with the Penguins, but some other teams he played with, when he had interactions with, kids or hospital visits or people having a tough time, he always said he got more out of it.
Absolutely.
Like he always said it was humbling, important, made him feel grateful. So I hope that I'm sure a lot of Oilers players found that yesterday as well. I know there was a picture of Leon with quite a small baby from one of his visits. So yeah, I'm sure that was an important day for the Oilers out in the community yesterday. Not on the ice today. Boston tomorrow. Well, we've been trying to do some fun Christmas stuff on the show the last couple of weeks.
Hey, there's
trying. Hopefully, people have noticed.
Hang on, Reid. Before you get into it,
what did I do?
Everybody watching now hammered the thumbs up, we'd be at word of the day status.
Oh, we'd sail over this.
Plus
we'd
bonus word.
Yeah,
130 gets you the word of the day. 150 gets the bonus word, and we can do it. We've got a lot of eyes here, and you're gonna like this segment. You're gonna love it. You're gonna learn a lot about Christmas.
So this is buying or selling. I'll do this and then we'll set it up. Buying or selling, presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. So Jay has some odd facts about Christmas. Well, they may not be facts. So he's going to give something odd about Christmas, and then I have to buy or sell it. So I basically have to figure out if it's true or not.
Okay. Are ye
You
ready?
can participate as well by texting or putting stuff in the nasty chat or emailing me.
Are ye ready?
I am ready. Now, I know what one... I know the thing that inspired this because you gave it the tinsel one, right?
Okay, well, we'll...
Oh, maybe not.
Just
Maybe
slow
I don't
your
know
roll,
it.
young
Okay.
man. Yes, tinsel is involved.
Okay.
Okay, Reid, buying or selling? The term Xmas has been around since the mid-1500s. Buying or selling, the term Xmas has been around since the mid-1500s.
Oh, man. I'm going to sell. I don't think it's been around that long. Just something tells me. I'm going to sell that. I think
You
it's
should have
false.
bought.
Oh, my goodness.
You should have bought, young man. It gets its roots from the Greek letter X. It's the first letter in the Greek word for Christ. Did you know that?
Well, I knew it was somehow short for Christ or represented the cross or something.
Yes, comes from Greek roots.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Okay.
Neither did I.
Well,
Neither
now
did
you
I.
do. All right, so I'm 0 for 1 there.
You're 0 for 1. I'm just going to keep tabs here. 0 for 1. Okay. In 1946, the Christmas film It's a Wonderful Life broke Christmas box office records. Buying or selling?
What year?
1946 Christmas film It's a Wonderful Life broke Christmas box office records.
Oh, I'm going to buy that for sure.
You're going to buy that?
I'm going to say that's absolutely true.
No, you should have sold that.
Wow,
Reid.
I'm
You
0 for
should
2.
have sold that. Do you know that when it initially came out in 1946, It's a Wonderful Life bombed at the box office?
I did not know that.
Now you do. It wasn't until 1974 when its copyright expired and television networks could air it for free. Then it took off and became one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
I should have known that.
You, of all people. You had your, what's that box
So it took
called?
almost a letterbox. I thought you
Letterbox?
made me an account.
I
You're
know.
probably posting as me all these
Yeah.
movies that I hate. You're saying that
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah. Ocean's 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it originally came out in 1946 and flopped. But
I did not
what was
know
that?
that.
That would have been 28 years?
Jeez.
Yeah. 0 for 2.
I'm not doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty bad.
I'm not doing well at all.
Buying or selling. This should get you back on track.
I hope so. Jeez.
Buying or selling that tinsel was once banned.
Well, I know this one because this is the one you told me. I'm buying that. So this doesn't actually count as
We
getting
have to
it right.
count it. We have to count
No, I didn't know.
it. In the 1600s in Germany, it was originally made of real silver. You know,
wow.
like
Okay.
strung out silver. So it would have been quite an expensive decoration. But in the 1900s, when it came to the United States, it was banned because it contained lead. Danger.
Oh, jeez.
Dangerous. So there was a time, yes, that tinsel was banned. So Reid, you were on the board at 1 and 2.
Well, but I knew that one, though. I don't know if I should get credit for that one. Thank you for being kind to me, though.
Buying or selling, the busiest shopping day of the year is actually a month before Christmas on Black Friday.
Yes, I'm buying that. I'm buying that for sure. In the States, for sure.
You should have sold.
What?
You should have
What's
sold,
the busiest
young
day
man.
then?
The Friday and Saturday prior to Christmas are the busiest shopping days of the year.
So that's the
20th and 21st
US this year.
Yeah, that's the 20th and 21st. The Friday and Saturday before Christmas. So you are 1 and 3.
Really 0 and 3.
Noting this down, or well, really 0 and 4. But
Or sorry.
no,
the
0 and
tinsel
3,
one
sure.
doesn't even count.
Okay.
So the busiest shopping days of the year will be this weekend, Friday
That's right.
and Saturday.
Yeah, the 20th and the 21st this year.
I'm going to a mall tonight.
Good. Get it out of the way. Which mall?
Oh, Kingsway.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Kingsway, brah.
Hang out at the mall. Maybe go get some. Maybe go get some Chinese.
Oh, yeah, I probably will get. Oh, yeah, I'll have supper there.
What are you gonna have?
I don't know yet.
I
New York fries, maybe the Chinese. What's it called? Special wok.
Yeah. I'm a
Not
special
wok.
I'm a special for those, or sucker for those Chinese places where
Yeah.
it's like 3 items.
Right,
for,
and when you first start
$12.99.
eating it, you're like, wow, I missed this. And then when you're about 3/4 of the way through, it's
Why did I do this?
Yeah, it's like I'm good for another 6 months
Yeah.
with malt Chinese.
Okay, here is the fifth and final fun fact.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I'm buying or selling for Damon Bunting.
It's the fifth. Fifth.
The fifth, yes, fifth. Thanks for overpronouncing that.
Kiss-
Jay.
Kissing under the mistletoe became a tradition in 1945 when young men returning home were given the berry-laden plant to gift their girlfriend/wife. Buying
So they're
or
back
selling.
from Second World War?
That's correct.
Oh, my goodness. Now I'm overthinking it because that does seem like it would be true, but part of me thinks the mistletoe tradition has probably been around longer than that, so I'm going to sell.
Wow. Good job. Way to not take the bait.
Yes.
Literally. The mistletoe roots are in Norse mythology.
Oh.
Frigg,
Is that not
Frigg,
Odin's wife?
the goddess of love,
Okay.
promised to kiss anyone who passed under the berry plant after it saved her son's life. So she said.
Okay.
That is the roots, is in in Norse mythology.
So you made up the Second World War thing all yourself?
I did.
You're very clever.
I thought you'd
That's
bite
very
on that
smart.
one for
Really?
sure. Yeah.
You're like, how am I going to fool Reid?
How am I going to get him?
That was the one I thought. You thought I would get the other ones right and that one wrong.
Yeah,
And instead, I unexpectedly and inadvertently turned the
That's,
tables.
Didn't see that one coming.
That I got the hardest one right and the easier ones wrong.
Some other fun facts off the cuff. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer almost had a different name.
Oh, let me
the
guess.
The creator, Robert L. May, was considering 2 other names before he finally settled on Rudolph.
Barry.
Well, they would have both started with R.
Roger.
Close. Reginald.
Reginald the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay.
Or Rolo.
Is a candy.
Yeah.
Isn't that the little chocolate caramel things?
They are delightful. The most recorded Christmas song is Silent Night.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which has accumulated over 733 different recorded versions since 1978.
7:34 by the time we go home tonight.
And what do you think the highest grossing Christmas film of all time? What do you think it is?
Elf, because it's the newest.
It's not.
Home Alone.
That's the runner-up.
Can you give me a decade?
2018.
Oh, the exact year. I don't watch. Was there a Grinch that came out in
Yes,
2018?
it was the newest computer animated film. It brought in $512 million worldwide.
Oh, wow. Who voiced in that one? Who were the voices in that one?
Benedict Cumberbatch
Oh, Doctor Strange.
was the Grinch.
I did not see this film.
It is, honestly, Reid, this is my favorite. By a mile.
I don't even know about this one.
By a mile. It's very well done. It's one of those films or one of those animateds that can entertain adults and children at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How Pixar has done that. And no, this is by far my
maybe I'll
favorite.
have to watch this over Christmas. So this is Benedict Cumberbatch, Rashida Jones, Kenan Thompson, Angela Lansbury, Pharrell Williams. Oh, that's a pretty good cast. So Benedict Cumberbatch as the Grinch. Oh, I did not know about this version. Now I do. I think that over Christmas I want to watch Despicable Me 4.
Yes, that would be good.
I'd like to watch The Substance horror movie. Demi Moore.
Who wouldn't?
And there was one I wanted to watch last night. Was it Train to Busan?
The Lion King, Mufasa.
No, not that one.
Yes, you said
Train to Busan I want to watch. 2016 action horror South Korean film. If anybody's seen Train to Busan, Busan, let me know the review, please.
Oh, Jed says it's good. Jed's here.
Jed's seen it already? Well, it's 8 years old, so I guess Jed would have seen it.
Did you hear about Jasmine punching a helpless elf on the shelf in front of her niece?
Jasmine Sidhu,
Jasmine
punched an elf on the shelf.
Relentless. Like, talk
When?
about Christmas
When was this?
spirit. She was on just a quick little trip to Vancouver last weekend.
Yes, of course.
Of course. I'm sure there was lots of martinis involved.
and she punched an elf on the shelf.
She beat it up.
Out of vindication.
She's not a fan of the elf on the
vindication.
shelf. She mentioned it on the Hangout this morning.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I was probably playing track and field on our classic arcade. Okay, 780-218-9999. If you want to get in touch, jump into the Nasty Chat as well. Remember to hammer the thumbs up button. If you've already done it, tell 2 other people to do it and to check out the show. And
Jasmine, tell your elf on the shelf.
She just put OMG in the Nasty Chat.
It was a great story. I had to mention it.
Jed Roberts, our weekly guest, has braved the road, so he'll have the traffic update. We'll talk the Fajardo trade and the Christmas season with our buddy Jed coming up.
We have Dallas hosting Toronto, Vancouver, and Utah, and the Panthers battling the Wild with 10 games around the NHL. And just one AJHL matchup sees Whitecourt in Lloydminster, while Toronto faces New York in the lone PWHL game. Football has Max Crosby missing the remainder of the season for the Raiders, while Will Levis heads to the bench for the Titans, having Mason Rudolph start this week. And in baseball, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals has blocked a potential trade to the Houston Astros. Arenado has 3 years left on his deal, worth a total of $74 million. And this sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides a flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. After the break, Jed Roberts joins Reid and Jay in studio. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your Sports Update.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Of course, the boss over at James H. Brown is Trent Brown. Jed, you ever heard of Trent?
No.
You should. I'll introduce you the next time we're out and about. I think you guys would get along.
Trent and I have been friends for 34 years.
Long time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's one of the best personalities. You know, if you haven't met him yet, you're missing out. You know, he just takes over any room he's in.
Got a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah,
loves Edmonton, loves the Elks. Loves the Oilers too.
Yeah, and he's a great patron of the arts. he does a lot of philanthropy, charity. You know, he's just a good man. He's got a heart of gold.
You're a good man as well, especially
I
coming in
appreciate
today.
that.
We love having you on the show
Well,
weekly here.
I don't know.
And-
I mean, what are your thoughts? We heard one of our colleagues, thoughts on Elf on the Shelf. She had enough. And to be very honest, I've had enough of Elf on the Shelf too. I've seen enough posts, and I don't care where your elf is on your shelf in your home. I really don't. Are you an Elf on the Shelf family, or the kids are too old maybe now?
Well, I should probably qualify it. Yes, as far as pictures and whatnot. If you're going to get creative and actually do stop action,
give me something good.
Yeah, do something or do an original take on it.
Yeah,
I'm all for that. But yeah, I think Elf on the Shelf is pretty played out. But again, it's not really for us; it's for the kids.
That's right.
And so it doesn't really matter what we think.
Yeah, why don't you let the kids enjoy Christmas, Jay? Jeez.
Humbug, Jay.
I'm supposed to be the curmudgeon of the show.
I just said my favorite movie was the 2018 version of The Grinch, Reid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were probably cheering for the Grinch.
Always.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. By the way, give us the traffic update. How are the roads?
Well, give yourself time.
Yeah.
It's at Edmonton. It's winter. The snow's been coming down since overnight, and it hasn't let up. I think I've shoveled twice already. So if you're driving out there, please take care. Please give each other time, space. There's no hurry. Arrive alive. All that great stuff. It's not the best out there. But I mean, I've lived here for 30 some odd years. We were talking during the break there about if you know the area, you know where to go and what areas to avoid. I wouldn't want to be on White Mud right now over by Snow Valley, and I wouldn't want to be on Yellowhead. So give yourself time.
No, you're a shoveler. You don't have a snowblower.
No, I want to get my steps in, man. I'm an old man, I'm 57. I'm not getting any younger, so I got to get out there and get some exercise. I got to do it somehow.
Do you put on the pullover cleats?
No, I do put on my Under Armour gloves though.
Yeah.
And I'm out there shoveling away. I actually, I don't know if you're familiar with the legend of John Henry. I like to think of myself as the John Henry of shoveling, snow shoveling.
Explain.
I'll go up against a snowblower and I think I'll win. I like my odds.
Amazing.
Well, we could have used you earlier. We had a listener that came to pick up.
Yeah, we had a listener get stuck.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I would have been all over that. I would have had him out like that.
That was fun. It was fun. Get the boys together, push a car out. You feel good about yourself.
Nothing like it. Yeah, I'm sure I contributed with my massive weightlifting abilities.
Reid, you were a key piece of that.
Well, Gager
removal.
was the MVP because he had the brain. Gager had the brains and the brawn.
But Reid, you've got a Bruce Banner sort of aura about you, where people underestimate you, but they don't have any idea. When you snap, you go.
Well, thank you.
Have you seen him dunk?
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, that's not a bit. This is
do not underestimate my man over here to the right.
Well, thank you, Jed. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Appreciate you coming in. We want to get to some other fun topics and some hockey talk as well, but let's start with the football story from yesterday. The Elks traded the rights to McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who's a free agent in February and was not coming back to Edmonton. And they get Cody Fajardo, who does have a year left on his contract. So Trey Ford's locked up, and now Fajardo was here as well. What do you think when you saw the deal?
I like it. I'm a big fan of the deal. I think that Cody Fajardo probably fits what they're probably going to end up doing with Trey, because Trey's an athletic quarterback. He can make plays with his feet, and Fajardo's along those lines. MBT's more of a stationary gunslinger type of guy. So it was kind of funny. I don't think it meant to be the way it ended up being, which is Montreal's offense favors a pocket passer. So for them to get MBT, it's kind of a good fit for him scheme-wise. And then looking at Edmonton, when you're looking at what they're probably going to end up doing with Trey, Fajardo's along those lines as well. And I think, people need to understand, Trey's the starter, but you need two starting quarterbacks in this league. And, I can go all the way back to 1993 when we had Damon Allen and Ricky Foggy. People forget that. We had three starting quarterbacks on our roster. We had Foggy, and then we had Tom Mickey, who started for the Blue Bombers back in the day.
I forgot about him, yeah.
So And I think people make a lot of that. Oh, Trey's got to be the starter. What's that? I mean, what's that going to do to Trey? Well, why wouldn't Trey want a guy like that around? Why wouldn't a guy? It just makes everybody better. Like iron sharpens iron. And
absolutely.
And I think that Cody's the consummate team guy, and I think that Cody will probably look to rework his contract. Otherwise, he might not have a home here.
Well, and if there is a knock on the way Trey Ford has played, or and this is a lack of development too as a starter, and he hasn't had the reps. I get it, but one thing would be is that he is not that drop back, sit in the pocket, be comfortable in the pocket, read, go through your progressions, deliver the ball on time.
Yeah.
Cody Fajardo had the highest passing completion percentage in the CFL last year. The guy can put the ball where it needs to go. So I think this is chess while you're playing checkers kind of move by Ed Hervey to say, look, this is a guy that's going to teach Trey the one thing that he needs to fine tune. So I'm absolutely behind it and for it. And the other thing is, too, the way Trey plays is I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but it does lend itself to the odd injury here and there.
Well, I think they both play the same way. Like Trey
tough,
and Cody,
hard-nosed,
they put
right?
themselves out there. And it's a conversation that I had with Chris Morris not long ago. And Chris, mind you, is not behind any of the personnel moves. That's Ed's department. But Chris has been a coach. And the last conversation, he said something that really stuck with me. And he says, if I could talk to myself 10 years ago before I got into coaching at the U of A, I would tell myself, get better athletes. And I think that's what the Elks did. They went out and they got the better athlete at quarterback.
Well, you can overthink that, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Especially in a draft-like process where you're saying, okay, I need this position, but Michael Vick's sitting there at quarterback. Take him.
Yeah, take
Just
the
get
athlete.
yourself
there's
the
nothing
best
like
athlete.
skill. I mean, that's what they always say in hockey, right? It's hard to get high end skill.
Yeah.
So if you can get it, and then you can deal with some other things along the way.
Yep.
So,
and I think that his leadership, Fajardo, everybody knows what he brings to the table when it comes to when the chips are down, like that speech he gave before the Grey Cup there, where he swore for the first time in his life. I thought that was awesome. He's he's a God-fearing man. He's a family guy. He's not the cartoon. He's a church-going guy, and so he's a very soft-spoken kind of so when people saw that side of Cody, that fiery side, it was like a departure from what they were used to seeing with him, because he's very almost milquetoast in the way that he kind of every day he's the same guy. He's not a fiery guy. So, but I'm just excited to see. When's the last time we talked about the Edmonton Football Club this much this time of the year? Usually,
and then with things happening beyond like uncertainty or who's going to leave in free agency or. Can they win a home game?
Yeah. Positive things happen.
Yeah, it's nice. Okay, you brought up Fajardo's personality. And football is, I find all sports interesting, obviously, but football, there's so many people. Because 40-some guys dress for a game. There might be a 60 guys around. Mm-hmm. I know it can be a little insular with position groups, but still, when you're getting ready for a game, everybody's there together. You got to have that mentality. There's so many different personalities. Some guys might be outgoing. Some guys might like to go out and have a good time. Other guys might stay home. You mentioned Cody. Religion might be a big part of his life. Other guys might not be interested or might not like talking about it.
Yep.
Like, does a team sort of find things they don't talk about, topics to avoid, or will guys stick together if they're in a certain? And I'm not only talking about religion. I'm talking about any sort of interest or things people can be passionate about. How do you find that common ground and keep everybody together? You know?
Football's interesting that way because it's a bigger roster, and so you do have pockets and you do have cliques that develop. And it's unavoidable. You can't escape it. It's the same as anything else. There's a lot of tribalism that goes along. And the Canadian Football League's a bit unique in that, you get these guys coming up from the States who are a long way from home, and those guys tend to sort of hang out together, right? And and typically, like historically, when I played, the offensive line was all Canadians. And so those guys were all doing everything together, and they were all pretty boring guys. They were just they were the guys that were probably among the highest paid guys on the team, so they were all paying off their mortgages during their playing careers, right? And so for a guy like me who was a special teams guy, as a backup, I wasn't making as much. I couldn't afford to eat with those guys, right, because they had more money than I did. So I would tend to seek out other guys and Trent and I were both kind of fringe guys, and so we hung out. So you do really get kind of, it's along economic lines, it's along nationality. A lot of it is, position, for sure. And defense and offense, there's definitely a divide between the offense and the defense because of the way it's not anymore, but it used to be one side of the dressing room is offense, one side of the dressing room is defense, and it was very divided along those lines for years. But now the format of the room is it's a circle, it's oval, and so there's a lot more mixing and matching. So there's not that divide between the offense and defense anymore, but it's more along position groups and more along nationality.
Was there ever, because you mentioned, and still most O-linemen are Canadian, but now a lot of lines will have one or two Americans. Like it used to be all five guys were automatically Canadian all the time, right? So, and I mean, in the Canadian Football League, you have to have Canadian. Was there ever American players who looked down on the Canadians? Like, you're only playing your Canadian.
Yeah,
that existed.
That was the norm. And there was a lot of, I don't want to say outright animosity, but there was some resentment for sure among the internationals, like the Americans. I don't know. They used to call them Americans and Canadians.
Yeah.
Import and non-import. So the imports, there was smaller roster size for the imports. So it was like 13 versus 23 when I first came in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now it's even. It's
right.
even. Or actually, yeah. So, there was only 13 spots for the Americans and then 23 for the Canadians. So a lot of the Americans were looking at the Canadians like they don't have to work as hard. They're not competing with, 12 other guys like we are. We're only competing against 22 other guys. And so there was certainly some resentment back in the day.
But that can be damaging, can it?
Yeah, and there was some condescension with respect to most of the Americans were skill guys, right? Like, you had receivers and running backs and, they were like the marquee big money guys, right? And so they were getting paid more because there were fewer of them. And now it's a lot more split between there's even, I think it's exactly 50-50 now, if you don't include the quarterbacks. But so it's a little bit different. I've talked to the guys now, and it seems to be a lot more. There seems to be a lot more respect between the Americans and Canadians because the internet has changed everything, right? Like everybody knows about everybody now, whereas before you get a guy that came out of Queens and the Americans are like, where did this kid come from, right? Like, you get a guy like Mike Shadd who went from Queens, went to play for the Rams, and he developed for 3 years on their practice roster and then became an All-Pro, right? And so those types of stories, you get them once in a while. Now you hear it all the time. You get the Chuba Hubbards, you get the, great Canadian Claypools, those guys that are just lighting it up now down south.
Okay.
Reid, I got to ask Jed because we had Peter Diakowski on yesterday.
Oh, great. Very smart individual. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's the interim, something to do with the CFLPA.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Interim executive director.
Executive director. Thank you, Reid. They recently did a club report card.
Yeah,
where they had each team and representatives from each team submit, their responses of a survey. These are all the different categories. There's football operations, management, training staff, equipment, family treatment, nutrition and diet, team travel, and training camp. Of those there, which would be the one that would mean the most to you when you played?
When I played?
Yeah.
The one thing that I really took...
There's no one here that says money, okay?
Yeah, no, and you know what? Like, nobody's up here playing for money, really, unless they're the quarterback, right? So, money's, there's not a lot separating, the one guy from the next in terms of the dollar. But for sure, when I came to Edmonton, it was the common perception was that this was the Cadillac of the league, right? And then over the years, and it's funny that when you look at the list there, equipment, that's the highest grade that Edmonton got, right? And that doesn't surprise me, right? So what that tells me is that there's still that infrastructure, and they got a pretty good grade for their football ops and stuff. So and you look at the roster, the talent's there, and so that kind of speaks to that. Where they got dinged was nutrition, which is that's pretty easy to fix. Like I know when Ed was here before, they had the sawmill catering, and they probably had among the best in training camp in terms of like how they ran it and the logistics. They had guys staying over at the airport there. It was really close to the stadium. So I would imagine they'll probably go back to some sort of format like that. those things matter, though. Like,
Sure.
and guys talk, and it's a very insular league in that respect. Before and after games, guys are having supper, and and they chat, and those things get out, and they can, at the end of the day, make or break whether a guy comes to play here. And when you want to establish a culture, those are those types of things. The one that was a little bit interesting to me was family, and I was pleased to see that included, because I don't think people think about that enough. I'll give you an example. In 1996, when we went to the Grey Cup against Toronto, for the first time in probably recent memory leading up to that, the Edmonton Football Club did not fly the spouses to the Grey Cup, and they didn't tell us that until right before the game. And so that created a lot of and so you want guys thinking about the game. You don't want them thinking about, and so there was some hard feelings amongst the spouses. And so guys were having to fly on their own dime, their wives to the game. And so, that makes a difference in this league, because every dollar counts, right? So,
did you read any of the comments in that article? I don't know. Some Bombers players were complaining about their plane. I found that's
falling apart, I believe, is what they said.
If they didn't.
Yeah. You know what? Those guys have been to a lot, they've probably gotten pretty.
Our plane is terrible and falling apart.
Yeah, that would not make me want to sign with the Bombers.
Yeah.
Or I'll sign for the home games.
The name of your team is the Bombers, so I think they're probably a little bit more attuned to the aviation part of it. So I don't know. We flew commercial with everybody else, right? And so we had guys sitting in we had the guys like Blake Dermott and Trevor Bowles, crammed into the window seat, and or sitting between two old ladies, and you're just trying not to tog up the armrest. So I think
they're drawing up
my how
for
times have changed. Just be glad you're able to get from A to B, buddy.
What did you eat? What did you eat after game? Because one of the Elks comments was a player complained about cold pizza after games, which doesn't sound overly appealing.
Yeah,
what did you eat after
different.
games?
When I went out, like my last year was in 2002. It was the first or second year that we'd ever had a guy come in and actually Chris Davey, who actually went on to become he's actually with the Oilers.
Oh
now.
I know
Chris
who that is.
Davey,
Yeah.
and I wave to him every time I'm down there in the Chairman's Club there, and he was the first one to come in and set up a meal plan, and so we all kicked in some money, and he set up, and so he would get us whatever we were looking for, something nutritious, and it wasn't like pizza, because that's what Dwayne used to have this setup where you could, if you signed all the footballs for the the giveaways and stuff like that, you get pizza afterwards. And we're like, Bruce Beaton was very ahead of the curve in terms of our offensive lineman and left tackle. He really took care of his body, and he was like, why are we eating pizza? We're athletes. We should be eating better than this, right? And so Chris Davies set that up before the 2002 season, and so we were getting wraps, rice and vegetables and chicken instead of some of the greasy stuff that we were getting. And so times were changing, and that's probably what they're talking about, is that some of the guys take that really, really seriously, and they eat very clean. There's guys that are vegetarians,
right?
The last thing you want to do is eat greasy pizza. You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of where that's coming from. That's a little eyebrow raising for the average fan to look at and go, geez, first world problems.
Jed, that sentence, the last thing you want to eat is greasy pizza, that has never been uttered in the walls of Edmonton Sports Talk before and may never be said again.
Yeah, buddy, I'm a pizza guy. I love pizza. My favorite is Tony's Pizza.
Well, okay, hang on. Let's hold it. We're going to have a pizza talk when we come back because we want to get into this. We want to know, the people want to know where your pizza's at, what's on your pizza, and we'll discuss, Jed.
All right, buddy.
The one and only Jed Roberts on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
On a 5-game slate, the Flyers play the Red Wings, the Jets meet the Ducks, while the Leafs and Stars throw it down, seeing the Oilers back in action tomorrow against the Bruins. Elsewhere, Prince Albert battles Calgary in the WHL. The PWHL has Toronto facing New York, while Lloydminster hosts Whitecourt in the AJHL, having just one game in each of those leagues. Cardinals third baseman Nolan Arenado has blocked a trade to the Astros, with Arenado having 3 years left on his contract. More with Jed Roberts here in the EST studios after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Gunn's take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Gunn's today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
The countdown is on to the legendary Boxing Week sale at FXR Factory Outlet Superstore. Don't miss the best deals of the season on fan favorite gear. Huge savings on FXR lifestyle apparel and outerwear, along with FXR Adrenaline Unlimited merch. Miss this event and you miss out huge on the best deals for the entire family. More great incentives in store, so mark your calendars, gather the crew, and head to FXR December 26th through 31st. 324 Mayfield Common in Edmonton.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Jed Roberts is here. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays, unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each, and a mountain of flavors to savor. Flavor of the month for December, maple rosemary. Do the wing thing every Wednesday at the Canadian Brewhouse, as we will discuss some food with our buddy Jed.
We're just having a great talk here about some pizza. And Ragazzi.
Yep.
That's the one on White Ave.
Londonderry, yeah.
Well, there's one on 82nd Ave.
No, not Londonderry. Bonnie Doon.
Bonnie Doon.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Very, very good. So, okay. Where are you ordering from, Jed, and what are you getting on it?
I go to Tony's. I've been going to Tony's for years. Before that, Chicago Joe's. I think Chicago Joe's.
It closed down, yeah. But they're across the street from each other by Commonwealth.
They were all, and Trent and I used to go into Chicago Joe's after just about every practice, and we'd order the pepperoni and mushroom. But I just have the pepperoni now when I go in there, because they just use the old school pepperoni. The other place that's really good is on Jasper Ave. It's it's over about 116th in that area.
Is that your F and Zaw? That place is great.
Yeah.
Birch and Bear is around there too.
Yeah.
I really like F and Zaw. It's just FNZA. Yeah.
I found that the pizza game has gotten a lot better in Edmonton over the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah. There was remember there was a poll in the last couple of years, and Edmonton was voted like the 7th best pizza city in the world or something, and people were mad. Like, how could Edmonton have it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We got good pizza.
Yeah, we do. And it's a competitive market. So,
that's the thing.
Roast Bowl Pizza used to be one that I used to go
to.
That
was on 117th in Jasper.
Yeah,
they're gone. They're gone now. They had
epic. That was good pie.
And they did the slow bake, so it would take 40 minutes, but you'd get it. And it was so good.
I kind of want to get to at least 100, or at least 100 likes, so
100 slices of pizza today.
We'll get to 100 so that we can be live with Jed for the word of the day. We're in striking distance. We should have it wrapped up.
Oh, you want to do it at 100?
Yeah, let's do it for the kids, and just have some fun.
He has a word of the day, and I have to spell it and guess what it means.
Oh,
I've always spelled them right so far.
He's 5 for 5 on spelling.
Oh, that's good.
Sepp's Pizza. SEPPS.
I haven't been yet.
It's in the Garneau area.
Yeah, I've had that. That's good.
It is fantastic. Mm-hmm. It is. They say they're kind of like a New York style, like a true slice.
Yeah, I like the New York style, the big slices.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This pizza talk, eh?
Yeah.
Nothing like talking pizza around 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The 3 growing men.
Okay, but I just want to clarify, though. because when you were with the Esks, they improved the tradition, but improved the nutrition. But you and Trent still would go for pizza after. So it's like, so you have the healthy stuff and go for pizza?
We were old school, and we were doing that out of earshot and eye shot of the guys that were, because that sort of mindset kind of permeated there through the earlier part of this century, where 2003, 4, or 5, those guys came in and everything sort of started to change. They actually started to cater to the team and everything, and they never did that when I played. We were kind of on our own, so. And Chris Morris and I would always laugh because we'd always go get Chinese barbecue, and that's you could get $6. You could get all the barbecue beef and sausage you could eat. The porker. You get this. My mouth is watering. It's not the best for you, but it's really, really good.
Blake told me once, I can't remember which O-lineman it was, maybe it was Blake himself, that they had a meeting, the O-lineman had a meeting, so before the meeting, the guy went to the Italian Center and got a 2-liter of Coke and the sandwich and ate and weighed himself before and after the meeting, and he gained 4 pounds.
Yeah, that tracks. Well, just the pop alone, that's a 2-liter.
2-liter of pop.
That's a lot of pop.
He drank a 2-liter of Coke and had the Italian Center sandwich, maybe 2 sandwiches during one meeting.
Can you imagine being in that meeting room? Oh my gosh!
Would you eat during meetings? Would you eat during meetings?
Oh yeah,
yeah, like
day,
whatever you wanted.
We would go to the Italian store all the time and get those big sandwiches, those paninis.
Right.
And I would only be, now I can eat a whole one, but when I first came here, I was like, how do people eat these? Because I could only eat half, And the trick is to heat it up in the microwave, because before I used to eat them cold and they're kind of hard and they hurt your gums, but when you heat them up, they're real soft.
Oh yeah,
they go down so good. It's good stuff.
Well, the Italian Center is a partner here at EST, and we've had our share of paninos.
Yeah, we've had some nice food appear, get teleported in.
Highly recommend it. I get the lasagna there too. It's quite good.
Their take and bake pizzas are up there.
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're in a pinch and you need to, kind of stick and move and you don't have time to make supper, it's a pretty good option.
All right, so when would you eat before a game, and how big a meal would you have? So
I never ate that much. That's a great question. I would typically, they were, when I first came here, it was very elaborate. We'd go to the Petroleum Club, and you had your option of steak, chicken, or fish. And then as the years progressed, it went to you could get steak or chicken, and then it was just pasta, and then pasta or salad, and so so I wasn't much of an eater before games. I was pretty nervous, and so I would go a little bit lighter, to eat a salad, maybe a little bit of pasta to keep something in my stomach, but I would never.
And how many hours beforehand?
Oh, if the game was at 7, we'd probably have a meal around 3:30.
Okay,
yeah, so not too soon.
But then would you be starving after the game?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I would just kick in?
Yeah, I would go and, grab something to eat and then hit the streets.
just eating whatever. Yeah. So how often, you got to help because I don't know exactly how it works, but you show up for training camp.
Yep.
So you get a physical.
Yep.
And you got to get weighed.
Yep.
And they want you to weigh a certain thing.
Yeah, and that's something that they started doing after I left. They didn't track your weight when I was there. It was right at the end of my career that they started to do that.
So that was my question. How often would you get weighed during the season?
So now I think they weigh you before and after every practice. I think that's a pretty standard thing to do. But they didn't do that back then. Back then they were like, "Hey, you got a pulse? All right, you're good to go. Let's
go." You're under 500 pounds. You're good to go.
Yeah. So here's your helmet. Now shut up. Get out of there.
Yeah, I didn't realize they would get weighed every day now.
Yeah.
My goodness. So, but once you made it through training camp, you were like, okay, I just got to take care of myself and not do anything silly with my diet or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, it was a different era, different time. Sometimes I laugh at some of the things that we used to do that, they don't, like, we don't even do kickoff anymore, really. So it's, a lot of things are different now. It's only been 21, 22 years.
Yeah.
A lot can change. So,
jeez. Well, that's I find the whole diet, because normal humans, like non-professional athletes, I mean, yeah, you try to watch what you eat, but some of these guys are like, they're strict, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I eat this at this exact time every day.
And there is something
no
to
variety.
that, there was a while there after I got done playing where I was really, really hitting the gym hard and I hit the nutrition and you actually feel completely different. Like when you eat certain foods. I mean, if you use food appropriately, it can act in your body just like drugs do. Like it. If you eat certain times, it affects your insulin and it affects your energy levels. It can, the bodybuilders have that down to a science. Those guys or even fighters do that too. Wrestlers,
right?
Those guys all know that, and it's they know what to eat, when to eat it, and when not to eat it. So
I heard a lot of people now are doing like where you say have a cutoff time of 7, and you don't eat anything for the rest of the night, and then you don't eat anything till like 11 in the morning or something. It's a
like fasting.
Yeah, intermittent fasting, and it seems to work.
You know who used to talk to me about that? Oddly enough, was Gizmo. And he'd say, "Listen, if you're gonna eat something after 7, have it be fiber, like something like an apple or an orange or something, so your body can in and out. So you don't want to be eating pasta there at 10 o'clock at night. You wake up in the morning, kind of backed up. But he was a guy that I actually and people wouldn't. I mean, if you look at him, he's like in his 60s, mid 60s, and he looks like he could still play.
No, he still looks rock solid.
Genetics have been really kind to that young man. So but he knows a thing or two about that because he's a track athlete, and he was one of the guys that. When you play up here, they don't have that. They didn't have it as organized, and it wasn't as readily available. But if you knew who to go to on the team, and that kind of speaks to your earlier question about clicks on the team,
right?
And so I always kind of knew, and I always made it a point to actually establish a relationship with everybody on the team, kind of figure out where they're from and what makes them tick. And there were some fascinating characters. And Bruce Beaton and Gizmo were two guys that took nutrition super seriously. So I knew if I needed any information or advice, I could go to those guys, and they would steer me in the right direction. So.
Do you want to do the word with Jed?
Yeah,
we're going to get to it. Keep giving us the thumbs up on YouTube.
Let's hammer this out.
We'll have a guest participant. Now, do you want to try to spell it, or do you still want me to be the one to try to spell it?
I just
Jed.
Gotta hide it from him here.
Jed, do you want to try to spell it, or do you still want me to be the one that tries?
You should try to spell it because you're on a roll.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm just thankful for the Bruce Banner comment. That was really something.
Buddy, don't underestimate my man Reid.
You should have seen him
he's
up
liable
there with
to
the
snap
card.
on you, man. I've seen him dunk. So,
okay, the word of the day, the early bird word of the day, is paroxysm.
Oh,
paroxysm.
Oh my goodness. Paroxysm?
Yeah, it's a tough one, bud.
I have never heard of this word.
Paroxysm.
My God!
Honestly, if I was to look at it and try
to get somebody to pronounce it for you, because I think
they provide the pronunciation.
Paroxysm.
Paroxysm. Paroxysm. There is an X in it, though.
There's a sneaky vowel in there too. I think somewhere.
I'm going to say paroxysm. Parixszym.
Wow, very close. Very close. Paroxysm.
Oh, so I did have. I was close, with the Y getting in there.
You had
I did
that.
Okay.
This is a formal word that refers to a sudden, strong feeling or uncontrollable expression of emotion.
Yeah.
In medical use, paroxysm refers to a sudden attack or increase of symptoms of a disease that often occurs repeatedly. Mm-hmm. For instance, the comedy special sent us into paroxysms of laughter.
Wow. I've never heard that word before.
I've read it,
Jed
but
has
never
read it.
used it in a sentence. I'm going to use it in a sentence now this week.
Paroxysms of laughter.
Can you give the spelling again?
Paroxysm.
So
I would have put an I in there. So
yeah, I had an I, then I had a U, and then I changed it to a Y. But I had the things flipped around, and I didn't think that would be an O there.
Oh yeah,
my goodness,
that was a good one.
See how
paroxysm.
See how learned we are.
Yeah,
Jed.
That's awesome.
It's pronounced learned.
See, this
learned.
This says parox. I would have said paroxysm.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
But it says paroxysm. But paroxysm. I think
if you said paroxysm, he might have gotten it.
I think he would have gotten
the
the
Y
spelling.
might have tripped him off.
But I always go by the actual, phonetic way that they present it.
Yeah.
Barry says, I love when Jed is on the show. Thumbs up. We do too.
Thanks, Barry.
I've loved having Jed on my shows for, I don't remember the first time you were on.
It's been a few years.
Yeah, we've known each other a while now.
Been coming in ever since
And
he
now-
was wearing...
Jed used to be my coach.
Yeah.
He used to be my coach.
Yeah.
Well, so you've known Jed even longer than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was used to watch this guy. Speaking of Bruce Banner, this guy to my left used to knock people out, man. Like, he was like a Death Star out there when he played safety for the U of A. Guy would catch the ball, boom! I think he's one of the reasons why they started changing the rules about hitting, because Jason, he didn't take it easy on those guys.
I would not last. I've said this before. I would not last.
A totally different game now.
One quarter in today's game. I'd be thrown out.
Hello
You
to
and Trent.
Yes.
Hello to X-Ray Jay, who's checking in. The Big Uke loves you as well. Sarah says Jed is a cool name. So you're
I
just
appreciate
winning everybody
that.
over.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the love.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
and
Love
we're
you
not
all.
going to see you now because next week
Christmas.
yeah, we're off until the new year. We'll get you on
at some
in the
point
new year. But
I'll see you guys next year.
Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Appreciate you always bringing in your son Keikoa with you, who is more interested in his iPhone than 6,000 arcade
I
games.
briefly taught him an arcade game.
Yeah, he's
Briefly.
playing Rocket League out there. He's
I don't know what
pretty
that is.
serious business. Yeah.
That is the great Jed Roberts. We got to call a quick timeout. Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of Injury Law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to JamesHBrown.com.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
The Red Wings and Flyers are just about to get underway before the Stars in Dallas host Toronto, and the Panthers face the Wild. And there's just one AJHL matchup seeing Whitecourt in Lloydminster, while Toronto faces New York in the lone PWHL game. And in the WHL, the Hitmen take on the Raiders. Elsewhere, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals has blocked a potential trade to the Houston Astros, and Arenado has 3 years left on his current contract, worth a total of $74 million. Reid and Jay continue their program right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update.
All right, great to have Jed Roberts in studio, and of course, portions of his appearance presented by Alberta Tutoring, locally owned and operated. Alberta Tutoring offers certified Alberta teachers who know the curriculum and what their students need to learn. Specializing in high school math, physics, and science, their skilled tutors can meet with students virtually while offering flexible scheduling. And right now, take advantage of their limited time offer. Enter promo code EST and get 40% off your first session. Visit albertatutoring.ca. Book your local experienced tutor. Yeah, appreciate the appreciation from a lot of the nasties in the nasty chat about having Jed in. He's a weekly guest on the show. Love talking to Jed. He's so down to earth. He's knowledgeable, loves Edmonton, loves the Elks and the sports teams. And we kind of fell down a bit of a food rabbit hole with him. But I as you know, Jay, of course I love talking about sports and what happens in games. But I love all the other things behind the scenes. All over the years, I've always loved talking about mental preparation, confidence. Okay, how did you actually feel when you were making that shot or catching that pass? And then I think the food thing is another side of it. Well, what did you eat? When do you eat? What food made you feel better? Were you tempted to eat ice cream 5 minutes before? I just love all those types of things. Capo Caco has been traded to the Kraken. How about that? Capo Caco to the Kraken. The Rangers get defenseman Will Borgen and 2 draft picks in 2025, a 3rd rounder and a 6th rounder. I'm seeing this from Dan Rosen from NHL.com, though I'm sure other people are reporting. Caco 3rd overall? Are you checking him? Can you check him?
3rd round pick.
No, I think he was 3rd overall in 21? What was the year? He was a high pick for the Rangers.
Yeah, that's is it 2019 NHL entry draft?
Sorry, he's older than I was recollecting.
He was 2nd overall.
Oh, he was 2nd overall.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought he was 3rd. My bad.
In between Jack Hughes and Kirby Dach.
Oh, that was Doc's year. Okay.
Wow.
So that's a significant trade. The Rangers obviously not doing great. I don't mind Borgen from what I've seen of him with the Kraken. So that is the trade today. Dan Rosen
That's
also
unbelievable. That is a big trade.
It is a big trade.
And that just shows.
Do you have Caco's stats for this year or Caco?
How I'll get him up.
Just Dan Rosen also writing, the Rangers have been targeting Borgen for a while. I'm told they want to let Victor Mancini develop, and this buys them time to do that. The picks are extra assets. Caco being a pending RFA 1 year from UFA plays into this too. Rangers were not ready to commit to him long term.
I mean, he's 14 points in 30 games played this year.
He had one really good offensive year, though, didn't he?
Yeah, that would have been 2022-23. He had 40 points in 82 games.
Okay, so that's not second overall.
It's not
pick
second overall numbers. It's fair to say he's been an underachiever for a second-round status that isn't a defenseman.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
When I've seen him play, he's had some good games, but clearly the consistency hasn't been.
Wasn't there recently some? Maybe we should make this the Oil Understood.
We will make this, yes, the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel! Understood.
Wasn't there some comments made when he was a healthy scratch just recently that he was the youngest, so that's why they chose him to scratch him?
Oh, I can't recall that.
Yeah, I believe there was some nasties help me out, but I think there was some tension between management and Capo Caco. But that's big. That's your second overall pick. Gone. Poof. See ya.
Yeah. I just want to double check about Will Borgen here. And yeah, we're just getting this trade on the fly. Will Borgen, he is from Minnesota. He is 27, originally taken by Buffalo. Didn't play much for them. Oh, no, sorry. He played 14 games with Seattle. Yeah, he had 25 points last year, -5. This year, just 2 points, -13. So I guess he's had a tough year, but I think someone who could still be kind of a valuable lower end. Oh, he was Buffalo's loss in the expansion draft to Seattle, was Will Borgen. All right. So that's the trade today. So the Rangers making some changes. I know Buffalo hasn't won a game in almost a month. I saw Dustin very enthusiastically wondering why Kevin Adams is still the GM of the Buffalo Sabres. Gager and Hernan talked about that as well.
Yeah, I just that's all.
Norman at Combine says, big deal. The Oilers got rid of 2 first overall picks. True. Well, Yakupov perhaps was not performing by like a first overall pick. X-Ray J. Laviolette never lasts this long in an organization. I think. Well, he's lasted longer than I know what you're saying. Is this Laviolette's 6th team already coaching? I believe it is. Laviolette coached the Islanders, Carolina for several years, Philly, Nashville. He was in Nashville a while, Washington for 3, and now New York. So that's the trade today. The Oilers did not practice. They will play Boston tomorrow. I saw somebody asking about McDavid. I think the Big Uke answered for us, but yeah, McDavid and Nurse ran into each other at practice yesterday. I was not at practice yesterday. It was later in the day, so I had to be here playing the video arcade machine. But no, seriously, the closer the practice is to the show, the less likely I'm going to go. But McDavid left practice, did not return. Knobloch said probably okay. If something was seriously wrong with Connor McDavid, the trainer is probably pulling me off the minute I come off the ice.
Well, so sorry to, just getting back to to this trade here with Capo Caco to the Kraken. Who else is expendable on the Rangers? You know, does Chris Kreider shake free?
Well, maybe anybody if they're doing that bad. They traded Trouba.
Sounds like the wheels are officially off.
Their captain, Trouba, the captain they traded earlier. Yeah, who knows what else they're going to do? Now, I don't know all their no move status and all that kind of stuff.
True. Fair point, Reid.
Rowe, what's a comparable for Borgen? Edmonton has 10 RDs, not counting Bouchard or Akey, and Bowman couldn't fetch Kakko to add to his collection of first-round busts to compensate for Edmonton's 2 first-round studs. Edmonton's comparison to Borgen, currently on the roster, that's a good question. I mean, would Borgen be somewhat comparable to Ceci, maybe? Big picture? Cece's older. How many points did Cece wind up with last year? Cece had 5 goals and 20 assists last year. Borgen they both had 25 points. Cece was on a better. Cece has 8 points with the Sharks, so Cece's having a better offensive. But that means they're not. I don't know who'd be exactly comparable to Borgen in the Oilers organization right now. But yeah, that's a significant trade. And anytime the Rangers are struggling, I guess that's a bit of a story. Being in New York, been a good team the last few years. So that's the breaking news today from the National Hockey League. 780-218-9999. You can text the EST inbox. You can jump into the Nasty Chat on YouTube. We have sailed past 100 thumbs up. Let's keep going, see how high we can get. I think if we get to 130, we'll get another word today.
100%.
You lowered the threshold to 100 since Jed was here.
For Jed.
That was fun. So if we get to 130, we'll get you another word of the day that I will try to spell and figure out the definition of. We also have Fired Up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street.
Reid, we've had it's been so busy, and this is my glue household. We've had basketball, more, my daughter plays on 2 different teams. It's stupid. We shouldn't have done that. I wish we didn't, but it was a circumstantial thing. My other daughter plays, then one of them plays handball. The other one's in gymnastics. We're go.
Right.
Last weekend was tournament and then handball. Then it's morning practices, evening stuff. Like there's a lot going on.
Yep.
I'm not complaining about that. I love it. I love my kids being in sports. I think it's important for them to be in sports. There's a lot of valuable lessons you can take from sports. I'm not complaining about that. Last night, nothing. There was nothing. Not a creature in sight. What's that? A good night moon? What it says? Not even.
I think it's the night before Christmas.
No, but there is good night moon.
Oh, sorry. I don't know that one.
We'll have a book reading another day. Anyways, there was nothing planned. There was nothing planned. I was actually, truth be told, I was going to go home, maybe have a nice glass of red, and watch the NBA Cup final. That's not a joke. I was really looking forward to that.
Good.
And our door broke. Our front door. The door we use, well, it's actually not our front door, but you know how in a house you have a door you use all the time?
Yes.
It's not necessarily always your front door.
Yeah, I got it.
Ours is our back door by our boot room.
Yeah.
That is the go-to door. Door broke. Can't get in. Handle won't latch and do the things the handle's supposed to do.
Do you know how this happened?
I don't.
Okay.
It's one of these touchpad ones, too, that you don't, sometimes that can get cold and not work as well. I get it.
Okay.
The latch is just doing nothing. So I get home, hey, so now we're going through the patio doors. Okay, well, I have to address this because we need a door. We need to get in and out. We are in and out a lot at our house. Take the whole thing apart, and this is left side, inside, electrical side. Then there's another inside of the inside that I take apart. And I take it all apart, and then there's a little spring that's in there that has dislodged. I see the piece in there, so I go and I put it all back together, and what happens? Boom! There goes the spring. Shoots somewhere in my kitchen. I don't know where.
That's great. Probably under the fridge.
Probably. So now I'm door handleless. So I said, screw it. It was already at that point. So I didn't get home till 7. By the time I was done supper, it's 8. Start working on this. It's 10. The kids are in bed.
You've missed everything.
Everything's over. Good night, Jay. Not Moon. Good night, Jay. So I'm, needless to say, I'm frustrated. So I stuff a tea towel in the door handle hole so there's not cold air blowing in our house all night or hot air escaping. And just took it to a locksmith this morning.
Oh, wow.
Get a lock. He says, yeah, we need to keep this here for a few hours. I said, okay. Well, my wife will have to come get it because I had to come into work.
Right.
I get a call. Locksmith says, yeah, it looks like somebody's been in this door handle. I'm like, yeah, me.
Yeah,
last night,
Yeah.
trying to fix it.
You're trying to take initiative.
Why do you think I'm here with you? Because it didn't work. If it worked, I'd have a door handle, and I wouldn't be here with you. God bless you for fixing it, but I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have to. So needless to say, my wife went and picked it up. Everything's working. She reinstalled it. God bless her. She's a handy woman, my wife. And we have a door handle. But I was really excited to just get home and just have a little bit of a restful night.
And then it goes off the rails.
And sure did, Reid. On a cold night, too.
Well, I'm glad it's fixed.
I'm very glad
Would
it's
have it
fixed
been
too.
cheaper to just buy a new...
Well, no, those ones are quite expensive. They're a few $100s.
When I moved last year, I got the ones with the digital put in, and I was like, oh, I did not realize that would be the price, sir. But apparently I've called you to install it, and
it was a
I'm
great
paying
place.
for this.
It was a great place in Sherwood Park called the Lock Expert. They've been around for years. They're the oldest, one of the best and oldest in the business. $35 they charged me to reassemble it with the right parts. And I did for full disclosure. When I lost the original spring, I went and made a new spring. I found a pen in our drawer that didn't work.
No way.
You know these pens?
Yeah.
Where there's a spring in them? Well, I took the spring out of that, cut it in half, and tried to fit it in there. The guy at Lock Expert told me, he says, yeah, somebody was in here. I said, well, it was me. And I said, did you find my spring that I used? He says, yes. It was way too high tension. It would have never worked.
But you tried.
I tried.
I appreciate that you tried.
I did try.
Okay, I'm going to save my fired up for tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we went a little over, the Rangers and Kraken got that trade on us. We got the Marmot Basin update coming up, and it's going to be my top 3 things to say when you get a Christmas gift that sucks. Still ahead on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports.
Former second overall pick Capo Caco is now a member of the Kraken. The Rangers received Will Borgen, a 3rd and 6th round pick for next year in exchange for Caco. And right now it's the Flyers up 1-0 over the Red Wings, with the Maple Leafs and Stars about to go at it before the Wild face the Panthers. In baseball, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals has blocked a potential trade to the Houston Astros, and Arenado has 3 years left on his contract worth a total of $74 million. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne returns after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your Sports Update.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Celebrate the season by creating space for your holidays. Sentinel Storage. Affordable and flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
All right, thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Of course, we are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Check them out at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. We've had a fun show. Our off-topic topic for William Huff, stories about getting stuck. Drew Remenda may have taken the cake on that one, though we had some pretty good listener submissions as well. Great chat in studio with Jed Roberts. Oilers tomorrow, 7 o'clock against Boston. We'll have coverage starting at 6 with the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. And we also, every Wednesday, bring you the Marmot Basin Ski Report. Ski for half price every day with the Marmot Escape Card, only $99 at skimarmot.com. Or get 4 lift tickets for the family for only $329, also at skimarmot.com. A great deal for families and only available online. Brian Rode, VP Marketing and Sales for Marmot Basin, is checking in. Brian, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Doing very well, fellas. And yourself?
Doing great.
We're just doing peachy keen. We're getting a dump of snow here in Edmonton. I don't know what it's like out there at Marmot, but I was looking at the snow conditions and everything seems to be coming along quite well there for you. Do you have any good news surrounding a certain chairlift, Brian?
Yeah, I sure do. We have been getting some snow here over the last couple of days, and it's still snowing lightly, so hopefully that keeps up. A new chairlift. Yeah, the knob quad chair, we put that in last year, and the great news is we're opening tomorrow. That's pretty early for us. We typically like to get open by Christmas, but this is a fairly early opening. So exciting news, especially for the advanced and expert skiers and snowboarders.
Yeah, so I mean, you're climbing high into the Alpine or higher now with that chair, but with, as skiers know, and I think this is for more the advanced skier, the person that wants to, go a little bit, wherever the wind blows kind of thing, but that does present dangerous situations. And do you have any tips on, especially around this time of year? And like I said, you still have people that are getting out there for the first time. Are there any tips you can offer to make sure people are staying safe on the slopes?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it is early season, right? No matter where you're going skiing, it's still only, mid-December. So I guess the biggest tip is know your limitations. Know your limitations. Take it easy, especially the first few days back on the slopes. And I mean, everybody knows those muscles, it doesn't matter how fit you are, those muscles have to get tuned in for skiing specifically. And I guess another thing that I can't stress enough, especially in an area like the Knob, this is all real high alpine terrain. Takes an awful lot for us to get it open with our avalanche and safety crews up there. So please just obey all the rope closures. They're very clear. The signs are there for a reason. So it is a pretty extreme terrain up there, and that's why it is advanced and expert terrain only. It's all above tree line. So as I say, there's a lot of work and preparation to be done. But it's opening tomorrow, so it's going to be a really good time now going into the Christmas season.
Walk me through a bit of the process. I mean, for you, you say, yeah, we started this here, and now it's opening tomorrow. But this is a job. This is a major, major job. And, oh, by the way, it's at the top of a mountain. So walk us through the process of when this, when did this start? And was a lot of this done in the summer months when you can access the ground and to work on that site?
Yeah, no, there's not much we can do in the summer. This terrain, you'd actually, if you were to see it in the summertime, you'd be shocked to know that we actually ski it in the winter. It's a massive rock field that goes up all the way up to Marmot Peak, and that's where the Knob Chair is. And as I mentioned, the new one, now it goes up another 330 vertical feet. So it gets about halfway up to what we call Marmot Peak. So nothing that we really do there in the summertime other than our usual lift servicing. When the snow comes in and we start to build it, this is where the challenge comes. So we have to first get a snowcat up what we call the gully, and people who are familiar with the knob will know this area well. And then you have to cut a cat track all the way up to the top, and you're cutting this through the snow. So that takes a fair bit of time. And then once we're able to get that done, that's when the ski patrol can have access and start moving equipment and fencing and rope lines all into place. And again, I'll just finish off with this. Because it's all above tree line and you have all these open bowls and chutes, you have to be careful about where you send skiers, especially when we first open the area.
Brian, I noticed the Christmas tree in behind you there. It looks like a lovely, lovely Christmas tree matched with your flannel shirt. You're really selling the Christmas theme here. But I want to know about the 12 days of Christmas that are going on at Marmot. Fill us in on what people can expect if they're heading out there for the weekend.
Yeah, well, that's a great, fun little contest that a couple of creative people, a marketing team put together. It's really quite simple. You can go onto our website, see how to enter, and every single day, the 12 days leading up to Christmas, we've got another prize. So whether you're a kid or an adult, you can find the clue hidden on the mountain somewhere, always in a safe place, nowhere difficult to find. And whoever finds that clue on that given day can win that prize. So a fun contest to get involved with. Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun. Okay, and Christmas next week, so we're not going to be able to have you on next week. So I'll ask you now, New Year's Eve, what's going on? Anything special?
Well, nothing at Marmot Basin. Most people like to ski during the day and then obviously come down into town, and that's where you'll find New Year's Eve. So I think the best place to go to is jasper.travel is an excellent website, and from there you can link to all the different hotels, and those are the ones that'll be having the New Year's Eve event. And of course, the Jasper Park Lodge always puts on a great New Year's Eve, and there's other venues in town as well. So a good search on jasper.travel will get you there.
Okay. Brian, great to have Marmot Basin as part of the show. Always love the energy you and your colleagues have brought here in the short time that we've had you on. Thanks for the update. Merry Christmas. Hope it's a great Christmas season at Marmot Basin. Really appreciate it.
And same to you guys and to all your viewers and listeners.
So that is Brian Rode from Marmot Basin. So ski for half price every day. It's the Marmot Escape Card. $99 at skimarmot.com. Also on the website, 4 lift tickets for the family for $329. Love having Brian on the show. Good
I
stuff.
Cannot wait to get out there with the fam jam and check out that new lift.
Are you a good skier?
Yeah.
You're good at everything. You're a natural athlete.
I'm not. I enjoy skiing. I'm not there to do crazy moguls.
You're not Alberto
and
Tamba.
Stuff. No, I'm not doing any slalom or giant slalom events. I'm just there to cruise, get in some turns, hit some speed. I like to go fast. And obviously the après part of skiing.
You're into that part of it.
Very much so. Reid, we've got a lot of texts we can get to.
Yeah, we got to catch up here because we've had some good topics today to chat about.
There has been a lot of Oilers chatter. I know it's an off day here, and they didn't skate today, or was that yesterday?
They didn't skate today.
Right.
And yesterday was when there was the collision.
There was the collision. Heaven forbid. Everything's okay from what we understand.
Probably,
we think. Yes. Hopefully the Oilers can stay focused on hockey before Christmas. I would prefer it if they were on the road so they didn't have to deal with the stress of shopping and family. That comes in from Terry.
Well, I guess we'll see how they do. I think I don't know how NHL players necessarily budget their Christmas seasons. I think first of all, if they're worried about shopping, if they do it themselves, they could also they could also do it on the road. I think they have the convenience of maybe having someone to shop for them or getting things ordered. There can be some distraction around Christmas. I think especially maybe like Kelly used to talk about that with me on Inside Sports, that it could be okay. Somebody's coming in on the 22nd, and I got a game on the 21st and the 23rd, but I got to pick somebody up or make sure mom's room is ready, or we're going to go out for either. There can be. I guess we'll see how the Oilers play. They know they got 3 games. They don't play on the 23rd. Some teams play on the 23rd and on the 27th, right? The Oilers play on the 22nd. No, they'll be back and practicing and flying on the 27th, but they have about as long a break as you could hope to get at this time of year.
Well, guess what? The Senators are thinking about Christmas as well, and the Sharks are thinking.
I guess the question is it just easier to focus on hockey if you're not at home with a wife or kids or family visiting? But
their last game's on the 22nd. They've quite a few days there before Christmas and after Christmas.
Yeah,
to enjoy the time. And by the way, this is your job and you're a professional athlete.
Yeah.
Do your job.
Yeah, I get the question, and I mean we do have to be reminded. And we were talking a few weeks ago about players having kids in the season, mid-season, or stuff happens. But I don't know. I've never seen Christmas as a massive. I would just be more, whether it's Christmas or not. That game against Ottawa is you have time off after.
Yeah,
whether it's Christmas or bye week. So, but can that sometimes affect? They're already thinking about days off or going somewhere or
I doubt
a flight. I don't know. I think they'll be fine. I think if the Oilers, if the Oilers play poorly in one or more of the next 3 games, I don't think I would chalk it up to Christmas distraction myself. But who knows?
I think it's time for the Oilers to break up Ekholm and Bouchard. They had a lousy game, and it shouldn't be automatic that the coach keeps letting them play together. Nurse is having a good year and should be alongside Bouchard. That comes in from Kevin. Now, was that exhale of your breath into the microphone because you were just sick of hearing about this?
No, I haven't heard that a lot. I mean, we hear things about Bouchard having his ice time limited.
I've said it. That why is it in stone that it's Ekholm and Bouchard?
Because they play very well together. And quite frankly, Bouch has never looked as good ever as when he's played with Ekholm.
Ekholm does have that ability.
And they have tried Nurse and Bouch together, and it didn't go very well. Now, Woodcroft was the coach, but I think sometimes you just have to believe that something works and do it. Now, Nurse and Kulak playing together more and more often. I don't mind that.
They have been playing well.
They have both been playing well.
Yeah. Kulak's having a season.
Really good season. I think Nurse has played quite well.
Yeah, both are probably overachieving.
Well, Nurse maybe is more like you need him to be.
You need him to be. Bouchard is the one that the Oilers fans would point their finger to and say underachieving.
Well,
if Bouch had overachieved, he'd be on the Four Nations Cup team.
Oh, true.
No question.
Yeah.
Right? This one is our friend, Reid.
Which one?
Good old Laserface Larry is in the EST inbox. And by the way, coming to you next year in 2025, there will be a name attached to the EST afternoon inbox.
Oh, I can't wait to find out what it is.
Big news. We're going to have a name for it. Great to hear you guys talking about video games. What an intellectual inspiration to the next generation who won't even be able to recognize a book. That comes in for our dear friend Laserface Larry.
God forbid we have talk about fun things. Okay. I'm not, whatever.
God forbid.
Mark just put in the nasty chat, don't watch The Substance with your parents. Mark, my dad specifically wants to see The Substance. I think I will watch it with my dad. if it's gory. I don't know. Yeah.
What's the substance?
So it's Demi Moore. I don't know the exact premise, but it's something like she's an aging actress who takes something to make her look or appear younger, and bad things ensue. I don't want to know too much more about it than that. And if that's not an accurate description for people who've seen it, don't correct me. I don't want to go in knowing too much. That's the general premise, I believe. Yeah. My dad and I love the gory horror, the weird horror.
Rusty Shackelford, thanks for the great show today. Was listening while moving snow in the country. Wow. Sent a picture, too. That's quite the hat you got.
Hope we
there.
didn't get stuck, because that was our off-topic topic.
Taco says, Ottawa is sneaky good lately. I wouldn't be surprised if the Oil underestimate them and find themselves on the losing end. That's a fair point.
Here's my prediction.
Ooh.
Because before this, I don't think I said this on air, but I said it to you guys off air. I predicted a 3-1-1 homestand. I predict a win over Boston, a win over the Sharks, and an overtime loss to the Senators. So it'll still be a decent homestand, 7 out of 10.
Wow. Well, okay. You've been pretty good on those predictions, I must say.
Now, I have not seen that movie. I'm sorry, everybody. I haven't seen every movie that's made.
The Wolf says, and this is important for everybody to listen to, I'm almost at the Wainwright turnoff on the Henday, and the average speed is 20 kilometers per hour. So you don't have to worry about driving too fast. Take your time, people. And he did say this is a talking text I'm sending.
Has it stopped snowing?
That I'm not aware of or sure of. And Nash in Whitecourt says Larry needs some 6 o'clock or loggers to ease the tension. He does. And right now is a great time to buy them.
Or maybe he said too many, and that's why he texts us.
Because they're on sale. Sobeys Liquor, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor has them on sale for $12.99 until Christmas. So stock up. Eric said he got a flat. That would be 6 4-packs.
Is that 24? Yeah.
Wow.
No, yeah. 6 times 4 is 24 is a flat. Yeah. And a gross is 144, right?
You got me there, Reid. You got me there.
Yeah, I think if you get a gross of something, it's a dozen dozens.
Now, we did have...
Jay's just like, quit talking about this.
A gross is a dozen dozens? So 144?
So. Yeah, so if say I'm going to bring you a gross of something, it's a dozen, it's 144.
Huh. Word of the day.
That'll be 2 words I use. Another word I use to annoy
Spell
people.
Gross.
Just like thrice.
Okay.
You know, I thrice had a gross delivered.
I did mention earlier in the show that Atif did have another run at a Limerick.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Here we go. Coob, light it up.
And then I'll do the big ukes.
The Oilers and Bruins, a clash of might. Tomorrow night, a thrilling sight. McDavid's speed, a blur so keen, facing Brad Marchand, a defensive machine. The crowd will roar with every feat as these titans of hockey meet. Atif.
I need to see it. It still seems like the cadence needs to be cleaned up a bit.
Well, let's just say this. Improvements have been made. Improvements are happening on Atif's side.
I think the lines 3 and 4 are still much too long.
I think most of it's too long.
Right.
But
it's a poem. It's a poem.
But
a limerick is a specific type of poem.
It's very... I mean, hey, I will say this.
Yeah.
Well done.
There's some clever stuff in there for sure. But as people know, I'm particular about my limericks.
You're really persnickety
I'm
about
limericker.
Persnickety has nothing to do with that, does it?
Nathan, the Big Uke says, the weather outside is absolute trash. Icy roads, sure hoping not to crash. Heater cranked up. EST toque on. Yup. Poker game last night. Tommy finished in the cash. That's a good limerick. Did you go on the poker tournament?
No.
I did not.
Remember I told you all I wanted to do last night?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I had this.
Someday I'll start listening to my colleagues, everybody. Someday.
No, that should tell you how much I was looking forward to this night. When Dusty sent that out and said, hey, guys, who's in? I knew that this was a nothing night.
Yeah.
And I said, sorry, bud, I'm going to have to sit this one out.
I did not go in. Now, I know I've joked about not liking the poker tournament. I have had fun. There's too much going on right now. I need to get stuff done.
I'll be in the first one we got in January.
Do we know who won?
Yeah, YouTube Trev's uncle.
Oh.
Uncle YouTube.
Uncle YouTube. That's his name.
It must be.
Did Trev go in the tournament?
I don't
So who
think
went in? Tom went in.
There was one point Tom, I think, was first, Maddie was third, and Dusty was 5.
Maddie went in?
Maddie always goes in. Maddie's quite a good poker player.
Okay. And Dustin obviously was in. Coob, were you in?
I've not been, no.
Are you ever going to go in?
I'm not good enough at poker.
You don't have to be good at poker. Just go play, baby.
It's not good it's not fun if you're not good at it, though. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, but you don't get good at something by attempting to do it.
What if I don't want to get good at poker?
Okay,
Are
fine.
you afraid?
You don't care about it. That's
you
fine.
afraid of getting good at poker?
Here we go.
Kind of.
Jared in the nasty chat. Now, I believe that
what
this is. Jared, I think he's the one that painted those things.
Well, those are amazing.
I think they are. Forgive me if I'm wrong, Jared, but he said limericks. Understood.
That's pretty good.
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. 780-218-9999.
Spency 5 cents, you got second.
Oh, good.
That is a big deal.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's really good. So you get real money for that.
Yeah, baby.
That's pretty good. Yeah, keep giving us a thumbs up on YouTube. Let's see how high we can go. We are over 100, but let's keep pounding away. Tom's dad apparently finished 7th. Yeah, and Spency finishing 2nd. Really good. Portions of this show are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Okay, I'm going to send these pictures. That is Jared in the nasty chat, the artist that painted those
incredible
pictures.
Stuff.
I'm going to send those to Coob. If you have not seen these 2 portraits that were painted of Dustin and Eric,
they're mind-blowing.
Do not leave. We're going to have them on before the end of the show. I'm going to send them to the Coob, like I said. Jared, you are amazing. We couldn't stop looking at those beautiful pictures all day because they're so beautiful.
Yeah, incredible.
And the way you tie it all together with Dustin and the basketball theme and Eric baseball, like, it's perfect. It's perfect. So we will show those on air after the break. But first, Reid, who do we got?
Coop.
Capo Caco has been traded from the Rangers to the Kraken in exchange for Will Borgen, a 3rd-round pick, a 6th-rounder for next year as well. And Caco, the former 2nd overall pick, has 14 points in 30 games this season. And right now, it's the Red Wings and Flyers tied at 1 in the first period. Well, the Maple Leafs get set to battle the Stars. Later, the Canucks meet the Hockey Club on a 5-game NHL slate. And in baseball, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals has blocked a potential trade to the Houston Astros, with Arenado having 3 years left on his contract with a total of $74 million. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne wraps up on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
The countdown countdown is on to the legendary Boxing Week sale at FXR Factory Outlet Superstore. Don't miss the best deals of the season on fan favorite gear. Huge savings on FXR lifestyle apparel and outerwear, along with FXR Adrenaline Unlimited merch. Miss this event, and you miss out huge on the best deals for the entire family. More great incentives in store, so mark your calendars, gather the crew, and head to FXR December 26th through 31st. 324 Mayfield Common in Edmonton.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer. We could have a song, Drew Remenda got run over by Mr. Kerr. Was that the person that ran him over when he was 10? I think it was Mr. Kerr. That was like a suspenseful story to listen to. I mean, we know Drew lived because he's telling the story, but it was like he got run over trying to help someone out of the snow when he was 10 because he decided to push from the front of the vehicle and everybody else was pushing in that direction from the back. And little Drew got pulled under the, what was it, a Toyota, was it a 4Runner or some kind of a,
no, what
was it called? Anyway, an Escape? No, what was it?
No.
But anyway, he got pulled under the vehicle and his legs got run over. But thankfully in the snow, he sunk down a little bit. His legs were not broken. That was a tremendous story. All right, let's see. What do you have? What are you grinning about? Do we have something before we do the pictures?
The boys did hang these pictures.
Yeah, they are up.
And no, they didn't hang them in Maddie's office because the first thing Maddie would do is come in.
What are these?
And rip them down.
That's how he sounds. What are these doing here?
So no, I mean, they did hang them to the left of Maddie's office, and actually the right spot.
Yeah.
They look fantastic.
They're quite visible on the way to the beer fridge.
So this
Sorry,
is
the
Dustin.
fridge, the work fridge.
This is Dustin's portrait. Zach said it looks like a Jackie Moon reference. Well, it is because Dusty has dressed up as Jackie Moon. I love the detail in the 6 o'clocker lager. Jackie Moon repped a beer of some sort in his in those movies or that movie. So look at that. Oh yeah, just the detail.
These are really, really well done.
Is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is great. This is Jared that did these?
Yes.
What an artist. I wonder what else he's done.
Well, he did one for Tom as well. Well, not for Tom, but for Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And kind of like these are portraits. The one for Gretzky, and I hope I'm not saying something I shouldn't.
Talking out of school.
But let's just say it was also fantastic.
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah.
Did we put the Eric one up yet for people on YouTube?
There he is. There's old LZ.
That's so good. What did he use? Like oil acrylic? I don't know. We can put it in the nasty chat if Jared's still with us.
Well, and I like on Eric here. He's wearing the nasty. Like that's the uniform. That's the team name.
Yeah.
And that logo on the hat. We will be taking that.
It's EST. it says EST on it. It's amazing, and I think that's at
logo.
Yeah. Is that at Remax as well? It looks like it's at Remax the way that it's set up.
It could be. I mean,
I can't tell.
There is an A&W reference in there as well, as they're a big part of that show on the scoreboard. Yeah.
Yeah, Jared, I'm just so stunned, but in a positive way, that listeners take the time to do this and come drop off gifts for us, food for us, little treats. It's an amazing community. It really is.
Well, like I said, Box Pounder brought in Kubasaw rings for everybody.
Yep.
Ginger.
We've had several people have dropped off baking in the months I've been here.
Ginger Montenegro brought in treats, sweets.
Yep. That were not free.
The Wolf brought in more. What's that spicy whiskey?
Oh, I didn't even know that happened.
You had it on your chest for your dunk. What's that stuff called? Fireball?
Oh, okay.
The Wolf brought in Fireball candy canes.
I didn't realize that was from the Wolf.
Yeah. It just, we're very, very blessed to have such
awesome,
blessed. Awesome and caring and compassionate listeners.
Yeah, it's really cool. You know what else is cool? Having Food Sausage on board to present the top 3. Food Sausage, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. That's right, 10% off your order by entering online code EST or mentioning EST in store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. We've generally been having fun with Christmas themes the last couple of weeks, so it is my top 3 things to say when you get a Christmas gift that sucks. So you gotta imagine this scenario. You're opening a gift, and we always picture these in either a work setting or in this one maybe a family setting, but a larger family setting. Because I feel like if I got a Christmas gift that sucked, well, from my parents, I probably wouldn't get a gift that I thought sucked. But if I did, I might be able to say, like, why did you guys think that I would like this? Like, what's the misunderstanding here? Some people you would just openly bring it up.
You'd have enough comfort level.
Yeah, you might
with
just
them
say,
to say,
you know,
"Look, guys,
I'm not into this, right? Like,
is this a joke?
Yeah, is this a joke, or is this part of another gift, or I'm not clear what this is. But these are things where you kind of have to be polite, but you don't want to make it sound to that person and others, oh, get me more of these in the future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so you get something you don't like or is useless to you. You know, you don't want to say like, oh, wow, this is this is the coolest, So, top 3 things to say when you get a Christmas gift that sucks. My first one. Oh, wow, I've never had one of these before. Figure that's factual, right? Because if it's something you don't want or you think sucks, it's probably something you have never had before and would never want.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, and I'm trying to do how you would deliver it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I've never had one of these before.
That is a good one. And the way you delivered that is, oh, yeah, wow, thank you. I've always wanted this thing. And by the way, I did miss out, and we weren't here, so that's why. But
what happened?
Bronco Nick brought in the panettone.
Oh, okay, amazing.
So I think that's on tomorrow's list to demolish.
Okay.
I've never seen one out of a package.
Oh, neat. Okay.
That I've seen inside the
I
Italian
did not know
Center.
that.
Yeah, so thank you, Bronco, and thank you, everybody. Again, now, Reid, I did write down a couple as well,
good.
so
Okay.
I must add this. So get the gift. No! Don't open the packaging. I really like to do that by myself at home.
Well, my second one is a variation of that. So you open the gift, you got it, you don't like it, and you're trying to think of something. So you're sort of maybe looking at the box, or you're starting to open it, or you just pulled out the instructions or manual or whatever there is for it, and then you go, oh, you know what? I'll dive into this later when I get home and I have more time. Whereas really what you're going to do is put it in the garage and never look at it or try to return it or
re-gift it. Yeah.
But yeah. So it's one of those where it's like, oh, you got me this. Oh, neat. Okay. Let me open. You know what? I'll open it when I'm by myself so I can really dive into it.
It would be rude of me to do this
and
now.
You're trying to make the person feel like, oh, he's going to engage with it later. He doesn't want to do it in front of everybody.
I don't want to wreck the party.
Yeah. The problem with that one, I just thought a problem is if that person says, oh, no, I want to see how you interact with it, But then you have people, well, no, like little Joey's waiting to open his gift. Aren't you, little Joey?
I don't want to slow things up for
I don't want to slow things
Timmy.
up for little Joey. And little Joey's like, I'm done opening. No, you aren't. Open that one.
I didn't get any gifts.
Poor little Joey.
Poor little Joey.
Oh, sorry, little Joey. Do you have another one?
Yes. You get the gift. Oh, cool. Yeah. I actually have a friend that's really into these.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I've heard of this.
I have no desire to have this, but I do know somebody that would like this.
I love that. Yeah. I'm not interested in this, but I'm aware that people in the universe might.
I know that people have talked to me about these.
Yeah, and then you're like texting your friend.
Yeah.
Hey,
Jimmy.
Walter, you want? Do you have this version? Do you have this model? Because I don't want it.
Yeah.
My last one is pretty simple. So these are our top 3 things to say when you get a Christmas gift that sucks. Oh, well, thanks for taking the time to get me something.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just acknowledge they went out there and shopped
I like
They blew it. They blew it. Thanks for taking the time to get me something.
Oh, that does.
Yeah. Now, again, this is usually a family member, but someone you're not close enough to just say, like, if your wife got you just a mind-bogglingly, well, I'll just use the word stupid gift.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be comfortable just saying it's a mind-bogglingly stupid gift like seconds after you opened it?
Hell no.
Oh, you wouldn't? What would you say?
That's my wife, man. Mm-mm.
But at some point, would you not have to say, like, I don't know why you got me that. I appreciate it.
No.
You wouldn't say that?
No.
I would say that.
Not.
Maybe that's why I'm single and have no friends.
Mm-hmm. No way, brah. You ain't doing that.
Because the only people who really buy me Christmas
I
gifts.
get hen-weighed once, not twice, Reid. Don't you dare.
No, I didn't. I'm not hen-weighing you.
I know, but that essentially would put me in a hen-weigh predicament.
No, it would put you in a hen-weigh predicament. Because I think if really the only people who buy me gifts are my mom and dad.
Well, yeah, and truthfully, Reid, my wife would never do anything
Well,
like
and
that.
that's the thing. And I'm past the point because I now understand, my parents want to get me something. They love me and they think it's cool to get me a Christmas gift or two. I'll probably get more than two because I'm spoiled, even as a 50-year-old man. But now, and I always used to be like, oh, I'm not giving you a list, Mom. Like, no, don't get me anything. But now I'm just like, okay, they're going to, and usually Mom.
They're going to do it. You
Usually,
might as well.
Mom, they're going to get me something. So I would really just say, okay, it's this.
Yeah.
This is the game. This is the expansion. I already have the game.
Yeah.
I want the expansion.
Here's where you can buy it.
you can get it or order it. Here's my list.
Yeah.
And you don't have to get me anything off the list. And it's usually Mom behind it. She'll find me something not on the list. So it would take a lot to surprise me. And I mean, we're sounding like a couple of ungrateful guys here.
No.
Here's
but
how you bitch
here's
about
the
gifts,
thing.
everybody. But it's funny. It's funny.
It is, but I mean, I just want my kids to have the joy of Christmas.
Yes.
My wife and I know she's going to get me something and I'm going to get her something, but it's not over the top. It's not. It's just a token of appreciation. Or hey, just couldn't not get you anything. But we got a TV on Boxing or Black Friday. That was kind of our thing. Like, hey,
we got a TV.
Yeah, we got a TV.
But mostly, I hope people realize we're being lighthearted because most of our Christmas top threes have been just joking about being in an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Like Odd Secret Santa. So really, we know people appreciate their families and would likely just say thank you for gifts. But we're saying if you want it to be,
I see this in like a
underhandedly
what do you call it?
ungrateful.
Like a white elephant kind of situation.
Oh, whatever
or
it's
like
called.
the Office one you were talking about, where it's a Secret Santa and you have to. Oh wow!
Right.
Geez, you really shouldn't have done this.
But see I'm thinking of a specific scenario. Like maybe it's that cousin you only see every Christmas, and they think they know you, but they don't. Mm-hmm. And they this is almost one of the gifts where they think that you nailed it, and then you open it. And I also envision this scenario. Like I have these specific scenarios in my mind. So this is like this is like a Christmas thing with like 15 to 20 family members, maybe even 25. So it's, some siblings, some cousins, some aunts, uncles, all ages, and you get this gift from maybe someone you didn't even expect to buy a gift for you, and you really don't know them very well. Even they don't know you very well, and it's not just a thing you open and you don't want. It's that all the people in the family who know you well. They're all waiting to see, like, oh my God, that is a terrible gift for Reid. What's he gonna do?
Right.
Like your 6 or 7 cousins or siblings that you're closest to, or even your parents. They're like, wow, that is the worst, stupidest thing you could have got Reid.
Fireworks.
How's he going to handle this? And so
I think Max.
wow, I've never had one of these before.
I think Max Bezozu, who we met today, both
Awesome.
you and I, that was great.
Yeah, and he won a contest.
I think he won this nasty chat too. He says, "Thanks. Do you have the gift receipt? I like keeping those as a memento."
I was thinking of something gift receipt related, so I like that Max put that on there. I was so fun. I'm out of breath.
That's awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
and then it's different for everybody. I mean, if you have a significant other, if you don't, if you have children, if you don't, everybody's situations are different. So,
But if you got me, we haven't known each other that long. If you actually and I didn't get you anything for Christmas.
I didn't get you anything.
Yeah, that's good because that's what the Jay and I are like. We're good.
Yeah.
But like if you got me something and I open it and I was like, okay, this is either a joke or you're an idiot, right?
And it would probably be a joke.
Yeah. It's like
I did get Matthew Arcu
what
a gift.
Can you tell me what it is? Is it inappropriate?
No.
Will it offend him?
I got him a gift because he specifically said, I don't want a gift. He's like, I don't like getting gifts. So what do? Of course I get him a gift.
Yeah. What would be the worst thing to get him?
It's actually a very thoughtful gift. I didn't get him like a...
Boxing gloves.
No. This isn't ChatGPT.
ChatGPT thinks he's a heavyweight boxer.
No, I got him a very thoughtful gift. I think he'll love it.
We got to go. We're overtime. We're overtime.
I've hit the camera.
Working overtime.
3 days in a row.
Do it,
or 2 days in
now.
a row.
Do it now.
Going for 3.
Close.
Oh, just above.
Big thanks to Zachary Kubish, our sports update deliverer and technical producer. He's the glue guy. I'm Reid. Thank you for being part of the show. Nielsen Show at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We're back at 3 in the afternoon. We'll be an Oilers game day. Take care.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.